Hey there, everybody. It is Megan Davis out of Relay, and I am here hosting today a masterclass called Systems That Scale. And so I just wanted to say shalom, which generally means peace, right? I just want you to realize that you're divine, that you have everything that you need, that if you're here, you are here with us today for a specific purpose. There's something that, that your soul wanted for us to connect. So I just wanted to say, peace be with you today. Okay. And in today's masterclass, what I'm going to share with you is I'm going to share with you how you can begin to lead curated group experiences and really get into the mindset of enrolling premium clients. Okay. And so this is just a little bit of feedback from some of my past masterclasses, whether it's been Strengthen the Crown and some other things that I have hosted over the years. And so I just want to let you know that you are in good hands today. And so my intentions today are basically just kind of like threefold, I would say, right? And the first intention is I want to go and answer my own deeper calling to really step out of isolation or monk mode, to really begin to honor the sacred agreements that really have begun to urge me to, reach more people and to reach the masses. And that's one of the reasons why even today, originally I was going to host this on Zoom, and I said, hey, why not? I have various systems, I have platforms to be able to reach a greater audience. And so I decided to, post it on social media instead of just doing things privately. And so a lot of times I'll tell people to invite their friends, and I wanted to also just make it as easy as possible so that if you find things of value of what I'm saying and the things that I'm talking about, so that it's going to allow you to also to, easily be able to share this out with those who you feel also need this message. My second intention for today is to really inspire you, right? I really and truly recognize that, it is time for me to, be able to have the ability to be able to inspire more people and to really embrace my role as that spiritual guide, that spiritual teacher, so that I can really help you to begin to fulfill your soul's work and your soul's calling, right? And so the third thing that I want to do, and my intention for this webinar today, is really to invite you, right? I have some amazing programs, some amazing things that I have going on behind the scenes. And if you are called and led to take this on to the next level, then I simply at the end will just give you an invitation so that you can learn the various ways to be able to work with me either now or in the future. Okay. So this workshop really is ideal for you if you currently have some type of audience. If it's someone that you're currently working with, whether that's online, offline, anything like that. This workshop is also ideal for you if you want to build your own community of people. This workshop is ideal for you if you want to also create some type of recurring revenue or some type of monthly recurring revenue in your business model. If this is also for you, if you're ready to step into your role as CEO, right? And you want to step into that CEO ship. This workshop is for you if you desire to create some type of legacy program, or you want to be able to work with legacy clients. And I'll explain what that is a little bit more later. And this is also for you if you want to begin to create a system of your own so that you're able to begin to attract and convert various clients on repeat. And then again, this workshop is for you is if you are looking to really begin to level up in your business with both spirit and both strategy, then this workshop is ideal for you. And so maybe you've been saying to yourself things such as, why can't I just figure out the right strategy to be able to launch my high ticket group program? Why can't I just find a mentor who can guide me through this process? Why can't I just invest in these resources and support that I need to celebrate my business success? And why can't I just overcome the obstacles that have been holding me back from reaching my goals, right? Because a lot of times we have these goals, we have these visions, we have these things that we really want within our business, but there are certain things that are holding me back. And a lot of times we can't figure out exactly what that thing is that is holding us back. And so, this workshop, we're going to talk about some of those types of things. But the first thing that I need you to answer, and this is going to be very interactive, and you don't have to necessarily answer this in the chat unless you want to, but it's going to be a lot of questions. And so, if you don't already have a pen and paper and some water and things like that, I would suggest that you get it because I will kind of go kind of quickly. But there are some questions and things of that nature that I will want you to begin to think about, right? Because I want you to get your mind going. I want you to begin to think differently, to act differently, to be differently. And so the first question that you have to ask yourself, that you have to answer, is what do you want, right? You have to ask yourself, what do you want in life? What do you want out of business? What does your soul want you to express in this lifetime? And so this is going to be the basis of the question that we're going to move through during this presentation. Okay. And so what I want you to realize is I want you to realize that you're incredible at exactly what it is that you do, and that your soul's message, right? Your soul has a message that you're probably ready to share with the world. And that's probably why you're here listening in right now. But you may be feeling stuck. You may be feeling unsure. You may be feeling like you have so many ideas or no ideas at all. And so this is why I wanted to create this workshop to help you to get these ideas out of your head and start getting them down on paper, so that you can get out of this rut that you've been in. And I also think that you could be here because you might still also be underpricing a lot of your soul work, and you want to become sought after in your industry. And so if that is you, then this is probably why you're also here. So welcome. And there's one quote that I've always heard as a child, and it always said that if I had 8 hours to chop down a tree, I spend 6 hours sharpening my axe, right? The person who said it might be debatable, right? But a lot of times it's credited by Abraham Lincoln saying that. And so to me, this is all about preparation. This is about understanding those things that you need to do. It's about taking a step back and looking at the work and looking at things from the larger perspective of, okay, this is what I need to do. These are the goals. These are the plans that I need to have. And so this is about you looking at what that end goal and working backwards so that you can get to whatever it is on that journey of what it is that you're trying to accomplish. And so some of us might also be familiar with the quote from Habakkuk 2 and 2. And most people just say that quote from Habakkuk 2 is 2 is just to write the vision and to make it plain, right? And so, but what we have to also realize is that for the vision, it also comes at an appointed time. And so when we look at these things from the Message Bible, it says, and then God answered, write this, write what you see, write it out in big block letters so that it can be read on the run. This vision message is a witness pointing to what's coming. It aches for the coming. It can hardly wait, and it does not lie. And if it seems slow in coming in, wait, it is on the way. It will come on the right time. And so, again, a lot of us have heard about this Habakkuk 2 and 2, but we really need the scriptures around it, which is 1 through 3, because we need to look at things and building our business through that lens, right? Through that lens. And it's not about just us understanding that we have a vision over our lives, but to also realize that we have to write it out. We have to plan for it. We have to prepare for it. We have to do those things in order to see our vision grow and visions blossom. And so that also has me thinking about recipes. I have two boys that are of college age, and one is living on his own, has his apartment, and he always has been calling me lately for recipes, whether it's my macaroni and cheese recipe or just whatever recipe it is. And then I think about my grandmother's recipes. I used to love my grandmother's biscuits, right? And it's no one in the family, I feel, can really replicate her biscuits and her biscuit recipe. And I think a lot of times that we as people, this is one of the biggest things and one of the biggest challenges that we constantly have is we don't document our businesses in certain ways because a lot of times how we learn to cook, how we learn to do things, how we have just operated in life has not been documented processes. And so for that reason, I like to say things such as we need to begin to, document grandmother's recipes, document our own recipes, because this is how we pass things on. This is how we leave a legacy. This is how we're able to form businesses and do those types of things is by documenting. And so as we begin to document these things, we also have to realize that it starts with us, right? If we don't do it, then if it has not been done as of yet, then maybe no one else has received that inspiration to do so. And so think about all of those things that not just in business that you need to begin to document, but also in your life. Okay. Let's see. And then the next thing that we can think about is we can think about the law of attraction, right? This is about us attracting and creating and also allowing, right? And so when you begin to write out your desires and you begin to visualize and do scripting and future pricing, and even if you begin and utilize it from the form of window shopping, right? Sometimes you're doing things that are known and things that are unknown. But this is the key to magnetism because the sub law explains that like attracts like, right? And so when you look at the steps of things, what you want to become, right? Begin to embody that energy. So you have to be clear on what your purpose is. You have to be clear on exactly what it is that you want. You have to be intentional with your communication and those things that you desire. You also have to begin to visualize your success, but it's important that you take action. So I want to take us through visualizing for a second. I want you to imagine being in your divine purpose and working with, all of your soul aligned clients, right? I want you to imagine that, you have that business of your dreams. You're able to scale your business. You're able to go to the next level. You're able to show up as your authentic self so that you can do all of those things that you desire to do. The other thing that I want you to imagine is I want you to imagine that you are growing your business and that you're scaling your business without actually doing more, that you're able to create and sell your high ticket group coach program in less 30 days or less. But why is this important? Why is this important to you, right? Our businesses, in my opinion, are merely a reflection of our soul work. And so my intention for this call again is to really help you to understand exactly where it is that you are. Secondly, to help you crystallize your vision for where it is that you want to be so that you can too see that it's possible. And then lastly, I want to help you create that plan to help get you there. I've been polling a lot of my clients recently, past and current, and some of the two biggest things that they said they want out of their business is that they want to work with premium clients, and they also say that they want higher prices and they want to make more money. And so when we look at these things, you have to think about how can you attract and enroll clients that are not just clients that are paying you, but clients that are soul aligned, premium clients is what I like to call them, into your group offer. And why do I say group? One-on-one is great, but if you really want to begin to scale and grow your business, you need to go back into the mindset of kindergarten, pre-K, when you began going to school. A lot of times those were in group experiences. And so you need to look at the ways that you can really begin to multiply and scale your impact. You need to look at the software, the scalable software that you need. And then you also need to look at the support system that you need in place, whether it's in the form of mentors, coaches, accountability partners, and the such. Okay. And so, again, most of the clients that I talk to, whether they call themselves coaches, healers, consultants, service based entrepreneurs, however it is that you define yourself as, they have these two main desires. One, to work with more higher ticket clients, like I said, in which I identify them as premium clients. And then the second thing is to work with a lot less people and to work a lot less because they're feeling burnt out. They're feeling that they have so much going on right now. Okay. And so what I define a premium client is I define a premium client as someone that isn't just ready, willing, and able to invest with you and pay you the big bucks, whatever, however you define it as. But this is also someone who shows up on time, shows up ready to go, who is coachable, and who is ready for their next level of transformation. Because that is what we're doing. We're helping people to transform and to transition from one phase of life to the next. Okay. And so, why do you want to be positioned for premium? The biggest reasons why you want to be positioned for premium clients is because oftentimes when you're working with premium clients, it's a faster or shorter sales cycle, right? You can look at them as having strategic partners. They typically come as ready to invest because you're going to prime them with certain type of information beforehand. You have the opportunity to have a higher profit margin in your business because you're not just, working for pennies on the dollar. These people are typically more empowered. They know where they are. They know exactly what they need. They're ready to invest in themselves. Because of this, they are results driven, and they're typically already educated on what their problem is. You don't have to educate them on the facts of those things that they really, really need in their business, and they ultimately become fast implementers in your programs. Okay. And so the power of a premium service is that it really serves your clients um, from their highest level, from your highest level. And this takes your clients through whatever type of transformational experience. And it's not just a quick fix, right? It's not one of those things where, oh, I'm just going to give you a band-aid. I'm just going to help you to get, fixed for whatever it is that you need right now. But it actually provides a long-term solution of getting down to the root cause of what's going on with them. Okay. And your most valuable acts of service is because you are basically the answer to their most pressing question, right? Is a lot of times people, they have a question, but it's about positioning yourself as being the answer. And then it's also the power of a premium service is about speaking to people, to humans who are ready to invest in their next level of transformation. So you're kind of weeding people out in the process, but I'll show you how that goes in a little while. Okay. And so, why is this important right now? This is important to you right now because you're probably been tired and frustrated because you're not really exactly where it is that you want to be in life. This is also probably really important for you right now because of the simple fact of, you realize that, there are various strategies that have not been working, they haven't been effective, and something is out of alignment in some place or another. And you're really ready to operate in your full calling so that you can get to your next level, tap into all of your divine gifts, amplify your level of magnetism, which is attracting these type of clients, and really begin to monetize your life's work. This is also important to you right now because many transformational coaches, healers, service-based entrepreneurs, however you identify yourself as, you probably have a desire to grow your business with a higher ticket program, some type of higher ticket offer, but you just really probably at this point don't understand how to package and position your offer, or what I like to call your soul work, or really begin to understand how to attract and enroll high ticket, high value clients that desire to work with you. And you've probably been stuck selling in a one-to-one cycle and are probably burned out in various ways. And so, this workshop, again, we're going to really begin to dive in on how to master high ticket group offers so that you can get into more income and more impact. And again, I want you to show you how you can attract and enroll more ready to invest premium clients into this high ticket, high value, high impact coaching, consulting, healing service-based business, however you identify it as. So again, if you're just joining us, I see that some more people just joined us. Do whatever it is that you have to do to begin to eliminate distractions today. Be sure that you have some water, right? Because it's going to be a lot of transfer of energy to help keep you hydrated. Get your pen and paper out. Feel free to screenshot, tag me in those things that you have found successful, and invite a friend or two in this conversation who you realize might could use this information. And so for the next 60 to 90 minutes or so, what I want to cover is I want to cover what I call the art of premium client attraction. I want to show with you exactly how you can position yourself as a high ticket coach and begin to enroll those premium clients that I have been talking about, and really how to begin to scale your business with curated groups when you realize that one-on-one work is no longer sustainable. I want to preface this with I still work with clients one on one. So I'm not saying that the end all be all is just transitioning solely into to group programs, right? That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that a lot of times when we really want to get into our next level of business, and we have to really go back to the basics of how we began to learn. And a lot of times that was in group formats and group coaching, and that is really going to be able to give you the ability. With a lot of my higher level clients, I still work with them on a one-on-one capacity, but where my income has been impacted the most and where I've been able to work a lot less has been through the power of working with groups. Okay. And so this is what I like to call the mastery matrix. And the mastery matrix pretty much involves three things. It is your mindset, it is your magnetic messaging, and then it's also looking at your monetization plan. And it's really just thinking about, that quote, which was saying a jack of all trade is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one, right? And so we have to begin to step into the identity of not just doing, but really step into that identity of being. And so when you look at the mindset, right, this is your clarity, this is your confidence, this is your conviction, right? When you look at your magnetic messaging, these are the things of attracting who and what it is that we want. And then when we look at those things that fall within our monetization plan, this is the alignment of how it is that we want to get to our next level. So, you have to ask yourself, what would your life look like if you could attract and enroll perfect prospects, convert them into soul aligned clients, and bring in this consistent level of cash, right? And this is about you knowing exactly what to say and what to do so that you are able to attract and enroll more premium clients into your mid or high ticket offers. And this is about you having more income and having more impact so that you can work 50% less and make more money. And of course, that means what I mean by more money is making more profits in your business. Okay. And so, what you will have to realize is that your physical life is here just to serve as a manifestation of your soul's journey. And so when you look at these things, you have to realize that your vehicle is simply, your business is simply a vehicle to your soul's freedom and to your next level of purpose. And when you do this, you have to also realize that your business alignment, it first starts within, it first starts with your soul alignment. And so, what this will show you, if you consider yourself to be a healer, is that this presentation will show you that your work is very much transformational and that you deserve to have a high ticket offer because of the work that you're doing for other people. This presentation today is going to show you if you consider yourself to be an industry expert, and it will show you that you need to start looking into transitioning into coaching and consulting and having that as a part of your business model. If you consider yourself to be a coach or influencer, then this will show you how that you are already ready to begin to raise your rates in this industry. And what this is going to show you as a service provider is that you're ready to create and launch your next level group offer. And if you are considered yourself to be an agency owner, this is going to be great for you if it's going to show you how to add a new revenue stream to show you how to teach other people exactly what it is that you do and how you do it, right? Because we all have different classifications of who we are, how we identify ourselves, and what we're known for. But the basis of this work is the same today. It will show you no matter where you are, no matter how you identify yourself as, it's going to show you something so that it can really begin to help you get to your next level. Okay. And so when you understand that your calling is higher, at that point, that is when you begin to move differently. And so some of the biggest mindset myths is that, you know, um, is that a lot of people they think that they could just pray and meditate and recite affirmations and money mantras and do these things and really begin to have them to really begin to start seeing clients. But the truth is that if those things and those things alone simply work, then we probably would all be multi-billionaires at this point, right? And so it's not just meditation, it's not just your money mantras and affirmations. And it also does not have to be, a long, drawn out process for you to be able to get to that next level. And so I want you to get those mindset myths out of your head. And what I want to say is that how this training is different is I'm here to really teach you principles and not just strategies and frameworks that, and then at the end, again, like I said, I'll give you an invitation to apply these at the end if you would like some additional assistance from me and my team to help you implement this. And a lot of times people are very, very brand new on the internet and they just learned something. But my husband and I, we started in this business and this line of work back in 2013, 2014, 2015, right? Is when we started beginning to do these kind of things. These are some things that we showcased that when we were a part of like Five Links and some of those other kind of organizations. This thing over here to the right was a small business expo that we were a part of. I began to doing career center workshops because I was a career center director. And so these were some of the first live group events that we co-created with other people and did. And then from there, I had my very own first group coaching program, which was in 2016, right? And I had my first client retreat with a organization and hired my husband and I to come in to talk about social media. Thank you to Facebook and all those other things for memories, right? Because we had 72 pictures in there and I was good and pregnant during that time. So that was our first in-person live retreat that we had about 50 people. Okay. And so for those of you that don't know me, I'm your host today. My name is Megan Davis Relay, and I really help mid six-figure entrepreneurs. They often hire me to help them create their very own high value, high ticket, high impact offers so that they can create systems and automations in their business and really begin to create the strategies that they need to scale so they're able to also increase their profits, right, from their identity level. These are just some notifications. I hate when people really do a lot of income stuff, but I wanted to show you all that a lot of times it's about having that repeat business in your as a part of your revenue model. And so getting people so that they're paying you, multiple times. And we'll get into all that, but that's where the true power of having groups in and having the ability to have, multiple recurring revenue streams within your business. And so there are a few things that I want you to know about me, right? Even more is that I am also not just a business coach or a business strategist, but a lot of my clients, they really trust me as their spiritual advisor. And so I really like to say that I am a spiritual advisor to business coaches, to muses, moguls, mavens, magicians, and manifestors. Because no matter what you identify your title is, like we talked about earlier, if you look at yourself as a coach or a healer or agency owner or a spiritual based entrepreneur or holistic coach, no matter what it is, you typically fall underneath one of these categories of a muse, mogul, maven, magician, or manifester, right? And so that is just a little bit about me. This is me over the years of various workshops that I presented at, that I've hosted, that I've co-hosted. And so I just had some fun. Even if I look on, and I had records from Eventbrite, where even at our time when Eventbrite was popular and we were hosting events there, we had hosted over 48 events on Eventbrite. And so I'm just coming from a different lens and a different perspective of, not only have I hosted my own curated events, but I've also been a part of other people's curated events. And so these are just some other workshops and things that I've been in and a part of. Over the years, I have received numerous awards, been in numerous magazines. This down here in the bottom middle, doing stuff with Broward County, and just various accolades and recognitions. And so I think it's important that a lot of times people realize and understand the lens and the perspective that you're coming from, and that you're not just teaching based upon theory, but that you're also teaching based upon what has truly happened and how those things have really transpired. From there, I've also hosted my own conferences and summits and workshops and all those types of things, and co-hosted different things with different people. And so this is the lens that I'm truly coming from, right? It's about looking at those ways of how can, I capitalize and use my own audience, but also how can I connect with other people and collaborate to also become a part of their audiences as well, and go in as that expert speaker and coach. And so here's some of the things that curated group experiences and programs that we've helped to really guide our clients to create. And so when a lot of times when I say the word curated group experiences, it's not a very familiar term. I don't know. I just started saying that one day, right? Really hadn't heard too many people saying it. But the types of experiences and programs that we've created, some of our clients have created, have been things such as mastermind groups, right? These are the types of things that fall within it. Coaching intensives, online courses, hybrid kind of programs that combine, e-learning, as well as some in-person or virtual type of group experiences. Other things can be considered such as retreats and workshops, right? Where you're hosting these types of events, or even just having some type of membership community. Those are the types of things when I say curated group experiences and programs. And so these are the types of next level offers that once you have mastered facilitating one-on-one work with people, you're able to begin to then go and look at these types of things. And so when you look at these types of things, right, it's asking yourself again, what do I want? What do I want to create? What do I want to do? What do I want to have? What do I want to offer for my next level? And again, I love working with clients one on one, but I also have found the value of being able to work with my clientele in what I like to call curated group experiences. And so if you want VIP club access, just comment VIP, and then I will be able to connect with you even more, to connect with you with some additional information that I have. Okay. And so, what I want you to realize and what I want you to look at is that this is about you creating a new way for people to begin to work with you. Whether it's you looking at these hybrid programs, whether it's in VIP days, whether it's in these masterminds that you want to create, if it's your private coaching programs, or within your own curated group experiences. This is what I want you to get in your head today to begin to create, so that you can really begin to scale your business, and really looking at these systems that are going to help you to be able to scale, because it is my belief that everything is a system. Okay. And when you look at high ticket group offers really increase your cash flow, and they begin to position you for not just more financial freedom, but also for more time freedom at the end. And so you have to ask yourself, what do you value? Ask yourself, what do I value? Do you value going to have $10 coffee every single day? Do you value that luxury car payment? Do you value those expensive weekend getaways? Those personal expenses paid out 1 to 2 months in advance, your all-inclusive family trips. Do you value those unused or underutilized degrees and certifications that you have? And so you have to think about all those things that you value in your life and those things that you have placed a value in your life on. And so from there, you have to truly ask yourself, what are some of those things that have been holding me back? How much time do I really have? What is my time worth? Um, am I building a legacy business that is going to help me to generate generational wealth, right? How many years do I still need to keep spinning my wheels, right? And trying to make this business work, and I can't figure it out, and it's not working how I want to. And so a lot of times it's just like an endless cycle, a wheel, and it just keeps going and going and going. But you have to ask yourself these questions. And it's really about asking yourself again, what are those excuses that I'm holding on to? And so when we look at these things, we have to ask ourselves, why would we want to have something such as a curated group experience? And this is because that selling high ticket is going to be your fastest path to cash. And serving groups is going to be your fastest way to scale. And your price is also going to be based on the perceived value of the transformation that a person is going to get. And if you are the answer and you position as yourself as the answer to that person's most pressing question, then you will get paid as that answer. And so the principles, the strategies, and the framework in this training will change the way that you're going to be able to make money forever in your business. And so why am I teaching this, right? As a part of my own mission to be able to impact many. Because your soul's message deserves to be paired with a strong identity, a strong offer, a strong message to your soul aligned premium clients, right? Paired with a strong marketing and sales system, with guidance, with my guidance or from my inspiration, right? So you can either look as me to be your guide or you can look to me to be your inspiration, right? And I'm not attached to that. I just know that I'm here, that I'm showing up, that I'm fulfilling my life's work. And as a part of my calling, I'm here showing up. And so I can't be attached to whatever that outcome of it is, of what your decision is. And you have to operate within that same mindset, right? And that's how you really begin to change your mindset to be able to evolve, to attract those things, and to begin to attract those people who you're truly called to work with. And so who have I worked with? Over the years, I've worked with finance professionals, tax and accounting professionals, accountants, holistic doctors, attorneys, coaches, psychics, card readers, healers, agency owners, tutors, people in the public speaking space. And so I've worked with all various types of people over the years. And so what the ancient proverb says is that when the student is ready, then the master will begin to appear. And so when you look at these things and you look at, what that next level is, you have to also realize is that the entrepreneur who gets to the next level, they have access to a proven framework and understands exactly what it is that they need to get them there. Again, this is a part of the preparation. This is a part of the planning that we talked about earlier. And so you have to decide, do you want to operate as a business or do you want to operate as a company? Or if depending on the industry that you're in, do you want to look at yourself as being that sole provider or do you want to look at yourself as being that practice? And so when you look at these things, right, you might be here because you're ready to turn your coaching business into a coaching company. And so you have to look at what are those things so that we can finally get you into that CEO role and put the offer, the systems, and the team in place so that you're able to make that happen. And so the keys to your next level at this point are going to be looking at your understanding, They're going to be looking at the setting. They're going to be looking at shifting and having, right? And understanding is understanding that there's going to be a mix of spirituality, there's going to be a mix of strategy, and then there's a mix of support that you're typically going to need to see your next level. Setting. This means that you need to set up the systems that are going to be able to support your enrollment infrastructure. And why do I say enrollment infrastructure instead of sales? You have to look at this from the lens of education, right? We're pretty much online educators. And when we look at ourselves as being these online educators, we have to look at this from that perspective of how can we enroll someone into our program, because we're coming from our highest self to help them at their highest level self. And so it's not truly about sales. It's not about convincing them. It's not about being conniving. It's about, hey, these are the ways that I'm able to support you. And these are the ways that you're able to make that choice to apply to enroll into those next level programs. And so this is what I'm talking about here. When it comes down to shifting, it's about being able to shift your mindset, right? Shifting your mindset from feeling that your clients can only get support from a one-on-one capacity and realize that you can still serve your clients from your highest level to their highest level when you're still doing it from a one-to-many capacity. And so looking at those ways of how you can shift your mindset of, my clients don't constantly need me, but they're empowered. They have the tools. I give them the tools. I give them the resources so that they can still be able to get exactly what it is that they need. And I'm still in the capacity where I am able to impact many. And then having, these are things such as having that documented process, that curriculum, having all of those things that you need in place to get to your next level. And so a lot of us have come from corporate worlds or worlds where we have had to, constantly um, apply for jobs, right? And so a lot of people, even once they start their businesses, they're still stuck in that job or that employee mindset. And it's about shifting whatever it is that they need to be able to shift into that CEO, that soul-led purpose CEO mindset. And so when we look at jobs, right, typically we're going after a targeted position at a targeted company. We have our resume, we prep for our interviews, we have our references and things of that nature. But once we look at how can we become a soul-led purpose CEO, we have to have a desire for our perfect prospects, right? And looking at how can we change and transform them into our soul aligned premium clients. And how do we do this? Just as you have a resume that you kind of tailor, for that specific position at that company, you're going to begin to do this with your content. And what I like to call magnetic messaging is kind of mirroring what you will be doing on that resume. Is going to be that messaging. And when you have the interview, your interview is pretty much the same as your enrollment call or some type of conversion event that you're going to have in your business. Okay. And so when you look at these things, one of the things growing up was I constantly used to watch this Cool Runnings with one of my nephews, Vincent, right? And they would always say, like, feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme, is, bobsled time, right? But it's about being in sync. It's about having that team, having that vision, knowing exactly what it is that you want to be able to accomplish to help you to get to that next level. And so it's about finding that alignment so that you can get to wherever it is that you want, to that next level goal that you have in mind. And so when we look at these things, this is what I like to call my soul-based business framework. Is looking at these things from your true identity. It's about who it is that you are being. What is your soul desire? You have a vision. So what is your vision? What is your business model that you want to have and that you want to operate under, right? What is your brand? What is your sales and marketing? What does that look like? How do you have scaling and systems and all those things that you need in place? And ultimately, what is the legacy that you want to leave behind? And so, how do you charge more? How do you increase your rates? This is typically the biggest question that I have that people typically ask. Like, how do I begin to charge more? How do I increase my prices? How do I raise my rates? Right. And the biggest thing that you need to do at this level is you need to create your signature system, your roadmaps, your framework, your own methodologies based upon whatever your proven curriculum is, and having it under a process that gives people what it is that they want, right? As well as those things that they need. I like to tell people a lot of times, tell the people what they want, but give them what they need as a part of the process. Figure out how you can mesh both. And by doing so, what you really have to begin to do is you have to tap into the feelings of people, right? You have to tap into not just the feelings, but just their emotions overall. You have to make them feel seen. You have to make them feel heard, but you also have to make them feel felt, right? And so it's that quote from Maya Angelou that says, I might forget what you say, but I won't forget how you made me feel. And that's the same thing, is that you might not exactly remember exactly some of the things that I say, but it's all about the experience and how can you make a person feel a certain type of way so that it's very, very memorable. And so when you're creating your content and things of that nature, you want your ideal client to feel that you see them, that you hear them, that you understand exactly how it is that they're feeling. From there, you need to look at how can I have my perfectly aligned prospect. You have to know exactly what their values are, what their vision for their life is, or for their goals. You have to speak in their voice, and you have to know what their victory is. And what do I mean by victory? Their victory is, what is their ultimate overarching goal that they want to have. You have to speak to those things for what it is that they ultimately desire, right? Speak to them in that way that they're going to understand you and realize that, hey, that you are that ideal person for them. And when I look at wealth building, I have to look at wealth building from the five pillars. It's about making more money, it's about managing money, it's about multiplying your money, it's about then being a minister with your money. And then at that point, you're able to begin to mastermind with your money. And so you have to ask yourself, what shifts do I need to focus on now to make my next money moves so that I can scale and grow and get to my next level? And so you must first have to learn a new way to think before you master a new way to be, is a quote by Marianne Williams. And so when you understand your why, your what has more impact. And so that's why it's important that that your why is bigger than you, that it's written down, and that it makes you emotional, right? Those are the three biggest things that your why has to do. It has to be beyond, oh, I just want to do this for my kids. No, it has to go deeper than that's just still surface level. And a lot of times, once you start peeling back the layers and pulling back the curtains, right? It's a few layers deep. Once you can get to your why, when you realize that your why is 30, 50 layers deep, and you begin to get emotional and almost cry, that's when you know that you truly understand what your why and what your purpose is. And so today, what I want you to do is I want you to make a new agreement. I want you to make a new agreement to look at things from a lens that I like to call elite ticket mastery. And always, before you offer any type of value, right? Um, you're going to expect some type of conversion, right? Because you at that point you won't have to work so far hard for the sale. And so look at those things as how can you offer the biggest level of value for individuals, for other people, and in that way, selling won't seem so gruesome. And so when you look at these things from this lens, you begin to realize, like I said earlier, is that we're pretty much all online educators, right? And what I have found that a lot of online educators, what they're doing wrong is that they're undercharging, right? They're still constantly trading their time for dollars, and that they are so caught up with selling the process and not the level of transformation that they're providing to their individuals. And so this is causing you to, be burnt out and not really begin to scale your business. And so these are some ideas that I wanted to give you so that you begin to scale your business without burning yourself out. I want you to look at the ways that you can document your processes so that you can automate your processes so that you can really begin to transition your one-on-one services to your group offer. Look at ways of how can you increase your rates, and if you're still working with people for one-on-one and done for you, how can you increase your rates so that you can begin to see a difference in your income? And how can you transition from a coaching role to more of that of a consultant? And how can you also look at those ways of how can you hire and outsource those things that you can hire someone else to do? Okay. And so the biggest thing is that you have to start charging for your time and really start charging for the results that you deliver. Again, it's about that transformation in your business. And so when you look at this whole elite ticket business mastery model, this was one of the original names of this training. But what I did is I've transitioned this training here into more so of a 3-day program that I offer my clients. And so the basis of this model, though, is that you have to look and ask yourself exactly what are some of your money goals, right? How much is your high ticket offer? And then you have to calculate exactly how many sales do you need every single month. So if you desire to have $20,000 months, right? And maybe you have a $5,000 offer, then typically you will only need 4 clients per month. You only have to enroll 4 clients per month so that you can see that $20,000 in your business. If you want $25,000 months, then you need to have that $5,000 offer, and then you need to be able to convert and close 5 clients per month. And so that's what you have to ask yourself right now. And so on a piece of paper, calculate, what is your monthly income goal, and how much is that high ticket offer, and how many sales do I need? And a lot of times people, what they like to do is when they're coming from a corporate America type of role, let me come off camera for this, come on camera for this, right? A lot of times when people are looking at their corporate America role, right? A lot of times what they do is they just like to 3x or 4x exactly what it is that they want. And a lot of times that is the biggest mistake. So if you are making like $50 an hour as in your role, then a lot of times they'll just go to their business and then they'll start charging $100 or $150 an hour. And so you have to get out of that mindset of charging for that hourly rate. What is that full package? What is that full scope of work that I'll be doing? And so, at a minimum, I would say that the baseline of what you should be charging anyone, especially if it's some type of hybrid program, is a minimum of like $5,000 is, I would just say, the base price point of what you should be charging. Depending on how it is, looking at how can I create my $2,500 offer, my $5,000 offer, my $10,000 offer, my $150,000 offer. Because if you don't get choked up with an amount, right, then your highest offer is probably not high enough for you if it's not hard for you to say it from the very beginning. And so I want you to ask yourself, what is my monthly goal? How much do I truly want right now? And how much can I command out here in the marketplace? And so look at those things, okay? And so moving on, I want you to think about what are some of those traditional models that we've had. So the traditional models that most people have is to have an offer. The offer has usually one-on-one, right? And then they usually try to get people to pay in full. A lot of times it's, you have to pay to play. So it might be $150 a session, $300 a session, $500 a session, right? And so typically the resources that you're providing some type of service to them, if it's a coaching call, a client call, or whatever else, then you're doing that. So it's kind of like, hey, you pay me for to pick my brain for $300, for $500, $1,500. You pay me, right? Then you get to play with me for that time frame, right? And then the invitation is, here's my link, right? The book to schedule. Here's my link. You pay it, you get on my calendar. Typically, that is your traditional one-on-one model. Okay. Then from there, it goes to looking at having programs. And when people really begin to have programs, they typically like to start, oh, it's a 3 month program, right? 6, 8 to 12 weeks. And a lot of times that revenue model could be either one payment or 2 to 3 payments, right? Is looking at that. And so that resource is a lot of times that's attached to some type of mini course, because that's when people begin to really think about those ways to look at scaling their business. And a lot of times with that enrollment model, it's a closed enrollment model. And what I mean by closed enrollment model is, hey, you come in, I'll have a launch for a certain period of time. I'm walking these people through this course. Even if you're teaching it live for this period of time, you typically have a start date and you have an end date. So that's considered to be that closed enrollment. And a lot of times those invitations are through various emails once you kind of build up your email list, and then also going live on social media and closing those things on social media, right? And so that's kind of what I mean by that invitation. The next look of it is having that elite group coaching model is what I like to teach people, is having an offer that is going to be anywhere between 6 to 12 months, right? So 12 months, I've even had some people to do it as much as 18 months, right? Having it where that there are some type of monthly payments where you're able to get in monthly recurring revenue. Yes, you still will offer people a discounted empowerment savings if they pay in full, but looking at ways so that you're able to predict your income, right? By knowing that you have certain people on a certain payment plan, so that you already know that, hey, as long as they're paying their bills and we're attracting empowered people who are our premium clients. So we already know, and we've already been manifesting and attracting those people who are paying their on time, right? And we also have the systems in place where their payments are automatically drawn out, right? Because it's about being smart and being strategic, but it's about having those systems in place so that we can also collect their monthly payments, but we have a way to predict our income for what it is that we're going to be receiving based upon the clients that we're going to be working with, right? And the resources that we typically give at this level is we have a vault or library of other trainings and workshops and things of that nature that they have access to. And with this type of enrollment, it's easier to do a rolling enrollment so that you can enroll people at this level at any period of time that you need to, so that you can really begin to get people to that next level. And then from there, the invitation type is typically a live event like what I'm doing now, which is going to lead to some form of application so that they can apply. So that if it's something that they're interested in, then they can just self-select and apply to the program to work with you. And then you're able to basically work with those people who they can almost pretty much weed themselves out if this is not something that's for them, right? And so it's about looking at ways of how can I look at the time that I have, how can I do some type of live event, whether it's a workshop, a challenge, or some type of master class or training, so that I can attract a massive group of people at one time, have an application process so that they're able to self-select and self-enroll into that. And then I'm able to then potentially follow up with one-on-one calls or enroll them into the programs that they're best fit for. And so that's what I mean by those. And so again, people always ask, "Oh, well, Megan, what should I include in my offer?" Right? This is one of the most common questions that that we typically get. And so one of the biggest questions that we typically get is, hey, what do I need in this offer, right? And so you can look at things such as having one-on-one calls, whether this is for some of the initial strategy or process, a welcome call. How can I have some type of group connection, right? This means that you would have them come in at certain period of times per month, whether it's a workshop or a training. This could also could mean that you have some type of check-in calls. This means setting up the system so that you have automatic emails, so that you have some type of group interaction where they can submit their questions in advance, and then you're able to go on at that whatever period of time that you have, for those workshops, trainings, Q&As, right? You can also include different things such as audits and reviews, so that you can review their content. I also include things, and all of these things are pretty much things that I have within my programs on resources, right? Learning libraries, tools, templates. I have also guest speakers that come in, right? And do all of these things as additional resources. And then bonuses would be access to certain types of vaults. Sometimes bonuses that I include is, some done for you systems and things of that nature. And so you have to just really look at those things of what can I include in my overall offer to make it a cohesive process so that my clients can get every single thing that they need, out of their time with me. And again, typically, like I said, with this model, it typically falls up under this elite group coaching model. And it is typically for an extended period of time, whether it's 6 months, 12 months, and then you give the people the opportunity or the option to pay one time at an empowerment savings rate, or you can have it where you set them up on some type of, subscription plan so that you can have some monthly recurring revenue with the payment plan. Okay. And so that is pretty much how you're going to set up your offer right there. And if you all have any questions, feel free to drop it in the chat. I'll answer questions as well. And so you have to ask yourself, what have you already invested, right, to become exactly who it is that you are? A lot of times we've gone to school, we have the training, we have the resources, we already have the certifications, we have the experience. All of these things have been investments in our businesses. And so it's about asking ourselves, like, what else do we need to do to fulfill our soul's purpose so that we can really operate in our highest self at this time? And so, what you really want to think about is, what are some of those business development, or what I like to call money making activities, that I know for sure have made me money over the years? For me, it's always been doing things such as lives and sourcing speaking opportunities and being on other people's podcasts and referrals, and creating newsletters and looking at what type of strategic partnerships I need, right? Whether it's recording content and sourcing new leads. And so you have to think about, what are those business development activities, right? What are those money making activities that I need to do every single day in order for me to be able to grow and scale my business? Whether this is outsourcing or automating, right? Because some of these things can be an automated process. Some of these things can be outsourced for other people to do. And so as you really begin to grow and scale your business, you have to ask yourself, what are those things that I need to put in place so that I really can begin to grow and scale my business? And so when I look at these things, right, you might have been saying things such as that you've been attracting prospects, but I'm attracting people, Megan, but not the right ones, right? I want to learn how to attract higher paying clients. I desire to work less. I desire to make more money. And I also desire to have a consistent flow of clients. But again, once you look at the activities that you're doing every single day, is going to be indicative of what it is that you really need to begin to help you to get to your next level. So you have to identify those things that have worked for you in the past, whether it's, you getting referrals, you starting your own podcast, or you going on somebody else's. You have to ask yourself, what are those things that are going to help to really get me and to make me money so that I can get in front of my ideal audience? And so maybe you've been at this, maybe you've been stuck, you've had some failed launches, you've had some low ticket clients, you've been attracting freebie seekers, you can't figure out how to monetize your existing audience. And maybe you have even hired other coaches and enrolled in many other programs, and you still have not seen the results. But what I want you to realize is that everything is a system. If you've spent thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars between your degrees and other coaches and courses and all this other kind of stuff, this is knowledge that you needed for that season that you were in. And so just I'm a firm believer that no matter what it is, I'm able to take and I'm able to learn something from everyone and from every situation. And so just think of that. Think of that as an intricate part of a system that is designing you to realize and to step into that next level of CEOship. Okay. And so just think about those things. This is one of the things that I teach within my programs is really looking at these things of the power of one, right? And we'll kind of get and dive into each one of these things next, right? Is looking at things from a power of one, looking at your marketing mix, right? Looking at things from this lead generation standpoint. What type of marketing opt-ins do you need? How can you serve and sell and then serve some more? How can you really solidify your premium offer from there? I'm getting messages. Let me check some messages. And so when you look at these things, right, you have to think about how can I show up as my highest self from my highest self, right? And so as we look at these things, we look at these things from the power of one, right? The power of one is considered to be things such as your audience, your channels, the traffic that you want to show up on, right? Those are the things that I'm talking about, the power of one. What is going to be that one offer that you're going to have? What is going to be that one traffic source that you're going to have, which is a part of your marketing mix, right? What is going to be that one thing that you want to be known for? What is going to be that one audience, that one specific person that you're going to be talking to? So look at these things as what is that power of one that I want to tap into, right, for this next level. When it comes down to the marketing mix, this is going to be your traffic source. This is going to be a combination of your free, your paid, and your organic traffic, your referral sources. When it comes down to your lead generation, we talked about this a little bit. This is the part of your business development and your money making activities. Your marketing opt in, right? Are the things such as your free and your low cost offer. The serve, self serve that I was talking about is really looking at things such as your content and your email marketing of how you're serving and selling to your ideal audience. When it looks at those things from your sales and marketing channels, this is about your bingeable content as well as your conversion events. And then your premium offer, these are the things such as your signature services. And so for me, one of the things that I do is I have a vault. And if you go to meganidorelay.com/the vault, I utilize resources such as that to attract new leads to shorten my sales cycle with people. And so I have a series of high ticket conversations that I've done that has begun to really begin to generate content lead for me based upon the content that I've already developed. And so it helps to really begin to shorten the sales cycle because, they say that it takes a person at least 7 hours or 7 interactions to really know, like, and trust you to want to do business with you. So if I realize that, it was 7, but I've heard in some places that it's like 21 instances now. So why not give you that content? And then if I'm on video, if you hear my voice, if it's certain kind of content, why not put it in one place for you? And so one of the ways that I generate leads is I put out content from my vault of teachings and trainings over the years that I'll highlight on one page that they have to go to. All you have to do is remember that one website. And then that's all the various ways that people are able to work with me. And so it's about thinking about how can a person have be bingeable, have that whole Netflix and Amazon Prime effect where I just want to lay on the couch and I want to watch you all day long, teach and talk and do whatever else it is that you're doing. And so, how can you really begin to create that content for yourself? And then again, looking at things from that lens of, your own signature services and your own signature offer that you have. And so when you look at these things, you have to look at this from that lens of having that customer courtship journey. It's about looking at having that premium prospect, right? And then turning them into an applicant where they're actually applying for your program. Then you look at the ways of how you're going to enroll them into the program, right? Because that is still a journey. Looking then at those ways of how you're going to onboard them and welcome them, having those checkpoints in place within your program, looking at how they are going to complete that phase of your program. Then you have to begin to think about, okay, once a person is looking at, what I've done and how we work together, what is going to be the next thing that they're going to be needing, right? And so looking at how they have whatever that next level offer is going to be. And then from there, when their journey is complete with you, what is that offboarding process going to be? And so it's about having that customer courtship journey so that you can walk them through all of those phases of how they're going to be able to interact with you. And so that's that system that you need in place for that is what is that customer courtship journey. And I see we have a question. So the question from Ms. Juanita Core says, how do you identify your target audience? This is a great question. So a lot of times how you identify your target audience is it's simple. A lot of times people come to you for something, right? A lot of times you're already known for something. A lot of times people they already know Juanita Core as the go-to person for X, right? And so that's how you begin to identify who that target person is because if you have this person that comes and has asked you for this, and this person that has asked you for that, and another person has asked you for that, you can look at the characteristics, you can see the request, you can see the income and things like that that they have been requesting of you from that type of way, right? And so that's how you can begin the process to identify who your target audience is. And if you question it, sometimes you always have to look at those people who you've been magnetizing, right? And just see exactly what it is that made them that made them become attracted to you. And so that's the biggest thing and the first thing that you're just going to do is just looking at those type of ways because a lot of times when we look at who our target audience is, we're just a couple of steps in front of them, right? A lot of times they'll say that we might be 2, 3, 4 steps in front of that person. So that's why it's also important for us to begin to document, you know, how we've been on our journey, what we've done, what are some of those things that we needed. Because a lot of times when it comes down to our messaging and our purpose is really tied to um, our story, right? It's tied to what we've needed at that time. It's been tied to the experiences that we've had, those things that we've had to learn. And so a lot of times you have to first start looking at identifying your target audience by first identifying who it is that you are, who it is that you've been, what are those things that you've needed when you were on those shoes? What were some of those first questions that you've had, those first things that you were researching, who were those other sources of inspiration, and then just really beginning to identify your target audience from that standpoint. So I hope that answered that question for you. And so you have to ask yourself, what is that signature system that you're looking to create? And so again, it's like how I just explained in that was looking at what is the whole process that you're walking a person through. What are their needs? What are their wants? What are their desires? What are their requests? What are some of the other resources that they need that are complementing those things that we need access to? And so you have to ask yourself, what is that signature system that I'm creating with my clients? And so when you look at your signature clients and your signature process, it's then again about you creating your own type of legacy program, having those legacy clients, having that predictable revenue from that monthly recurring revenue that I was talking about, so that you can look at how can you have higher profit margins in your business with that higher ticket service, and how can you provide high ticket, high value, high impact experiences. That I stands for impact. And so when I look at this, right, I look at these things as a pyramid, right? And so from the lowest standpoint of that pyramid is you're going to have your high ticket, you're going to have your high ticket clients, right? Is the highest standpoint of your pyramid. But at the bottom of it, before you get to it, the base is going to be that marketing mix. It's going to be that free, that paid, that organic traffic, that referral sources, right? Because you need that mix of all those things. From there, you're going to take yourself to that conversion event. From there, you're going to have a curated group experience. From there, you can have your curated group program. And then at the highest level for someone to be able to work with you is to work with you privately, right? It's that's how it is. And so when I look at these things, some people like dollars, right? So I put in dollar signs. A lot of times when you look at things from this marketing mix, it's going to be your lead generation efforts, right? A lot of times this is your free work that you're going to be doing. So it's, no cost, low cost to the person. It might be your lead magnet and all that kind of stuff. Is however you are generating leads, right? A lot of times my request and putting out for this free training is a lead generation event, and this event is a conversion event, right? So some people, they realize that, hey, that is no cost to some people, or it's a low cost because I have a VIP upgrade to this, right? Is even though even right now I'm broadcasting it on various social medias, the people who have paid the VIP price of it, which is a two-figure amount, it's under $100, right? They get access to a workbook that accompanies this. They get access to the replays because the replays are not staying up for this. And then they also get a 15-minute magnetic messaging call with me, right? And so this is my conversion event. It is a low cost event, or no cost, because it's considered to be a conversion event, right? And then from there, I take things up, and then you go into a curated group experience. From there, your higher ticket items considered to be a curated group program. And then the highest level of someone to be able to work with you is, again, during that one-on-one. And I see we have another question. Let's see. This question says, can you explain the difference between the group experiences and the group programs? Yes, I will explain those differences in a few minutes. We will get into that, but the biggest difference is that there really is not a true difference. An experience can be a program, and a program can be a program can be an experience, and an experience can be a program, because ultimately it is an experience. But just from the purpose of it, a group experience could be just something that you get people together, whether it's a smaller workshop, It can be, a quick training. It could be one of those types of things. And so it might just be for a shorter period of time, whereas a curated group program is for a more extended period of time. So it can be again like 6 to 12 months or longer than that is how I consider that to be. And so with an experience, it might be like a 1 day training. It could be a 3 day training, one of those types of things. And then that program is just going to be a longer container. But I'll get to that into a little bit more detail because I have some examples of that, right? And so from your marketing mix, which again, like I say, is just how you're generating leads and traffic and all that other kind of stuff. You then go to your conversion event, and typically anywhere from 10 to 20 people who actually register for an event typically show up. And from those 10 to 20 people that show up, then typically 10 to 20% of the people will actually enroll into one of your programs. And it could be enroll or enroll up. So sometimes you might have an experience and then it could be in a group coaching program. And so anywhere between 10 to 30% of those people will fall into these middle two phases right here. Okay. And then some people will from those 10 to 30% of those people from that original 10%, then typically 20 to 30% of those people will then choose to work with you at a higher level capacity. Okay. And so when you look at this marketing mix, again, these are things such as your list building, your conversion events are things such as your webinars, your challenges, your training. Your curated experiences could just be your signature offer, your foundational program, right? Your curated group program are things such as your masterminds, your hybrid programs, your retreats, those things with monthly recurring revenue. And then your private one-on-one will be things such as your customized support. So this could also be things such as my marketing mix, just to kind of give you context of it, right? The marketing mix could just be things such as your content, the daily social media content that you put online. The conversion event, this program right here, my systems that scale, this is my conversion event because it's like a training, a webinar. My curated group experience is one of the programs that I have, which is like Premium Services Academy, which is pretty much a program that I'll talk about later. But you can do that at a base level. The curated program is the longer version of it, where you actually get some additional courses. Like this is a 12-month program, whereas this foundational course that I have is a 12-week program, and then my program. I'm sorry, my curated experience is a 12-week program, but then my curated group is a 12-month program. And so that's kind of how you can kind of also like look at some of the differences is this one could be broken into weeks and then this one could be broken into like a year format. And then the customized support that varies, but that's a higher level at a different higher price point. And so that's kind of how you can just really begin to look at that for yourself. I have some clients that we'll probably talk about later, um, is looking at, he has social media that he does online. Then his conversion event is a free kind of like webinar. From there, he has a membership program that he enrolls his clients into. Then he also has a higher level program that comes with other testing and that kind of stuff. And then with his customized support, it's kind of like a hybrid. So, what I really kind of teach people is once you get to this part of this triangle, is to really begin to teach hybrid work, where it's a combination of courses, it's a combination of um, different types of things with those courses, one-on-one work, and then also group. So I like to teach people to just kind of bunch those three things together for optimal things. Okay. And so when you look at your new customer journey, it's about trying to draw out that top 3% of the buyers. And so it's looking at that marketing mix. It's about looking at whatever your conversion event is. And then it's also inviting people to that enrollment call. And so the system that you really need in place for that is what is considered to be your client enrollment system. This is about you offering that longer container of support so that you're able to facilitate these things in a small group program. And then you give people the option to really begin to pay you in full or to have some type of monthly recurring revenue in your business. Like I said, we can break up the payments, whether it's, I don't really like to charge people weekly or bi-weekly. Typically like once a month or whatever else. So then that way you have those predictable revenues in place. This whole thing right here is grow your business from that standpoint, so that you can have that proven, dedicated pathway, so that you can have that clarity, that insight, so that you can really begin to elevate your messaging as that premium level coach. And so, why do I like to say soul align? It's your soul's message, and it's looking to be able to shine through so that you can become truly that energetic match to that person that you seek and how you plan on serving them. And so, when you realize that you want more influence, you want more income, and you want more impact, you begin to operate things differently, right? And maybe you realize that there is things that aren't working, that are hold on one second. Can you all hear me? Uh, if somebody can put whether or not you can hear me. I got a message. Okay, perfect. Okay, cool. So maybe you have been thinking and saying things such as that things aren't working, right? Maybe you think that you can. Perfect. Thanks, Cornelia. Thanks, Jonna. Maybe you've been thinking things such as, like you want to look at ways to market on new platforms. Maybe you want to look at ways to hire team members and software, and you want to change up your offers, and you want to pick up, new work or new clients, and you want to look at sales training and more degrees and certifications. And so you need to just think about those things that have not been working and maybe why. I don't know what part that you all cut off at. Did you all hear this about the Soul Aligned CEO framework? I know some of you that are on here right now, you all actually attended this. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I had just got a text message. So Cornelia, just text me if if you can't hear again. But yeah, so this was the framework that this program has come off of, right? Is the Soul Aligned CEO framework. And it's just looking at things from the identity standpoint, that next level of influence, that next level of income. What is that impact that you want to make? And then that IP3 was the original one. It was the increased profits, is the inner peace, and then it's the intellectual property. And so we're just really looking at building your business from this initial framework, so that you can really get the clarity that you need, the insight, so that you can really begin to elevate your messaging as a premium coach serving soul aligned clients. Okay. That's the biggest thing that I wanted to make sure that you all heard from that. Um, and so most people seek to find some type of new strategy, but it's not always the strategy, it's not always the marketing, it's your soul's messaging that's typically what's missing from the whole equation. And so what you have to realize is that sales is service, right? At the end of the day, we have to be of service to other people. And so when we come from that standpoint that sales is service, we begin to serve and we begin to show up differently. And so when we look at these things, we have to look at these things as what I like to say airplane mode, right? Because before we can be of service to other people, we must secure our own mass first. I travel a lot. I probably take going to a conference or something else at least once a month. And, on the airplane, they always tell you to secure your own mass first before you go help your child or the person that's sitting next to you. You have to secure your own mass first. And so as we're looking and building our business and stepping into our next level of leadership, we have to first look at ourselves, because a lot of times it's that inner work that we have to do first so that we can really step into that next level of leader, of who it is that we know that we are, become that person so that we can really step into really looking at those ways to identify exactly who it is that we're called to serve. And so you have to look at that and you have to think about, like, what are those things that I need to do internally so that I can step into the leader that I am. Because at the end of the day, whether you look at yourself as a coach, a consultant, a healer, a service provider, whatever, a tutor, a homeschooling mom, influencer, whatever it is, you still are a leader in some form or capacity. And so you have to just ask yourself, like, hey, what do I need to do to become who it is that I need to, and how can I secure my own self first? And that's why I think that's important that, especially with my husband and I, within our business with the Audit 2 agency, we first look at you. We first help you with the inner work before we help you with the strategy. We help you with that soul work before we help you get into the strategies of making money and doing things within business. Because with you yourself, I don't want to help make and build your business around something that you're not even passionate for. You don't even like to make money that way, right? And so a lot of times when people are feeling the lack of clarity and disease and discomfort when it comes down to how they're growing and building and scaling their business, it's a lot of times they haven't implemented the correct systems because they're operating in the incorrect business model. And so we look at those things and we do those things from that perspective. Okay. And so once our own personal cup is full, we then begin to serve others from our overflow. It's not about just pouring and pouring and pouring, right? It's about how can we serve other people from our overflow when our cup is first full. And so you have to ask yourself these questions at this time. Number one, what does success look like for me? A lot of times we've had these perceived notions of what our family has taught us, what society has taught us. Oh, go to school, get a good job, get married, have those 2.5 kids, and live life, right? But what does success truly look like for you? What are some of those things that have kept you from feeling that level of success that you already have and that you already claim to be, right? And that you already know that you're already at. And then you have to also ask yourself where in life and in business, right? Because you are a CEO of something, is that where have I already been successful? Have I been successful at managing my kids in my home? Have I been successful at helping other children? Have I been successful at strategies and implementing? Where have I already seen the various levels of success? And so that is something that you have to answer for yourself. And so you have to ask yourself again, where are you out of alignment? Where am I out of alignment? What is not working for me? What does not feel good? What are some of those things that I know that I don't want to do, that I don't like to do, that is keeping me stuck, but I feel like I need to do it? And a lot of times at business, when it's those things that happen, then those are the things that we need to either automate or outsource if this is a part of the business model that we truly, truly need to be a part of. And so ask yourself, where are you out of alignment? The next phase to look at is from an identity standpoint, right? This is the biggest thing. Your identity consists of those things such as your beliefs, your confidence, your mindset. What is the vision that you have for your business? Where do you need to focus in on that personal development, as well as what are those things that you need to implement for your self care? Because a lot of times people really don't do self care, they do self soothing and they want to call it self care, but what are those things that you need to do as a part of your self care regimen so that it can help you to stand into that highest point from that identity standpoint? I like to tell my clients all the time, and when I was a career center director, I would always tell my clients, like, you have to oftentimes show up and you have to dress how you want to be addressed. And even now, with me working from home, some of my cousins, they like to joke with me because every morning I get up, I take a shower, and I put on some clothes like I'm going somewhere, whether or not I have to see clients that day, right? Because a lot of times how we dress and how we look really helps us to feel better. And so it's about stepping into that identity of, you know what, at any moment's notice, I can be ready to meet with that potential client, right? To hop online, hey, let's hop online, let's do whatever else it is that we need to do. But when we really begin to move differently and have that confidence, right? Because when our hair is done, when our nails are done, when our face is laid, right? We have those things. We begin to have that confidence and we begin to show up differently. And so it's about stepping into that next level of identity for exactly who it is that we want to be and how it is that we want to show up. And so the quality questions that you need to ask yourself at this level are the things such as, how does my soul want me to, what does my soul want me to remember, right? It is my belief that we all have a original soul contract as to why and how we reincarnated in this human existence right now. And we have to come here with that sense of remembrance. And so you have to ask yourself, what does my soul want me to remember? Because oftentimes throughout our journey, we've forgotten that. We've forgotten those things that we needed to be able to remember. You have to ask yourselves at this identity level, what are my spiritual beliefs? What are my guiding principles? What are my money blocks? We all have some type of money blocks a lot of times, right? And what is the vision for my life's work? And why do we ask some of these questions that from the identity level? If you have never taken my quiz, it is called wealthactivationquiz.com. And a lot of times, what people don't realize is that as we're learning and unlearning, we're relearning at the same time, right? And so it's some of those things that we begin to question our spiritual beliefs. We question those guiding principles. We question those things of who it is that we have been, who it is that we need to become, right? In order to help us to get to that next level. And so when we look at these things, these are the types of questions right here that you'll need to ask yourself and that you'll have to answer to be that guiding principle so that you can really begin to step in those things from that identity standpoint. And so what I want you to do right now is look around. Look around at your current materializations because those are truly reflections of your previous manifestations. And so when you look at those things, you have to look at those things from that lens. Like everything that I prayed for months ago, weeks ago, years ago, this is probably the reality that you're living in right now. And so the first step of this is really operating from that sense of gratitude of how can I be grateful for those things that I have. Even if business is slow for you right now, you probably ask for peace, right? You probably ask for that peace of mind for, a time to be able to spend more time with your kids or what have you. And so be grateful um, to realize exactly that you're exactly where it is that you need to be right now so that you can really begin to manifest to that next level. And what I also want you to realize is that you're already abundant, right? From that identity standpoint, you have to exude abundance. And so abundance has to be fostered in and when your thoughts, your words, your actions, and your beliefs are all in alignment, right? But you have to realize that you're already abundant. That, thank you, babe. You have to realize that you're already abundant, that you already have everything that you need, everything that your heart desires is already yours. And so when you look at these things, you have to realize that it's already yours for the asking. And so when you have that mindset and you operate from that identity, you will also begin to attract things and to become magnetic from that other standpoint, such as that. And so you have to ask yourself, who must I be to do what I'm called to do in order for me to materialize all that I desire to have? And so when you look at these things from this standpoint, this is the true basis of the be, do, and have, right? Is asking yourself, who must I be to do what I'm called to do in order for me to materialize all that I desire to have? That starts at that identity level. And so, as you, as the business owner, you have to look at those things from this standpoint of stepping into that next level identity so that you can look at those systems and strategies and all those software that I need to be able to scale my business. And so that is what you have to do from that standpoint. So some of the most common money blocks that people have is they look at things from unforgiveness. They look at things from abandonment, right? They have those blocks from abandonment issues. They have an unworthiness issue that they've had, and then there's also a fear of failure and or a fear of success. Because a lot of times when people have these money blocks, it's within one of these five categories, which is the unforgiveness, the abandonment, feeling of unworthy from whatever has happened, and then the fear of failure and the fear of success. Which question was that, Cornelia, that you liked? And so the energetic center that is most commonly affected is your throat chakra, right? Is the throat chakra. And so within this energy center, it has been affected because of these things such as the unforgiveness, the abandonment, the unworthiness, the fear of failure, and the fear of success. And so when we look at this throat chakra, this energy center within our throat, a lot of times it was because of those things of how we have been silenced, right? And that's your communication center. And a lot of times it's those things and those reasons why we don't like to show up online, why we don't want to put ourselves out there, why we don't want to do those types of things, right? Is really looking at those things from that standpoint, is really looking at how we need to show up. How have we been silenced? How have we had those feelings of abandonment? How has fear showed up in our lives? How has the fear of success showed up in our lives, right? And looking at it from that standpoint of how can we clear that energetic center so that we can really step into all of that we need to really become. Because the truth is that no matter where it is that we are, what it is that we need, right? Is we have to be her now, or him now, or they now, however you identify, right? You have to be that person which you seek now because it's already in your DNA. And so it's about you going from that standpoint of remembrance, remembering who it is that you are, what it is that you're called to do, what your soul's message is, right? How can you get in alignment and attract those people that you're meant to be serving right here in this lifetime? Because this is how, from this identity standpoint, this is how you really begin to operate from your CEO or from your next level self. And so you need to energetically align, right, to take this inspired action. But oftentimes it's about surrendering. It's about realizing, like, you know what, if you identify with God, the entity that I feel is a higher power, I identify it as God, right? But whatever your belief is, the God of your choosing, right, you have to just say, like, at this moment, what do you have me do? Where do you want me to show up? How do you want me to show up? Who do you want me to serve? And so when we look at these things from this standpoint, it's about surrendering to whatever the call is over your life. And so the quality questions that you have to ask yourself at this level is, what am I holding on to that is no longer serving me or my greater mission? What covenants and commitments have I made that I need to correct? And then what forgiveness work and soul work do I need to do? And I want to talk about covenants and commitments for a second, because a lot of times the covenants and commitments that you need to correct are with you. Again, a lot of times the covenants and commitments that have been broken are with yourself. Granted, sometimes it might be with your spouse. Maybe you have said that, you started on some projects, it didn't go as planned. Some money was lost and friendships have been severed. But what commitments have you made with even yourself? Even if it's something as simple as, you know what, the whole month of July, I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna go online every single day. And guess what? It's the 13th and you just not showing up. So you have to ask yourself, what covenants and commitments have I made, even with myself, that I need to correct? What forgiveness work and soul work do I need to do? Not just with other people, because remember, forgiveness is for you. It's not for the other person. So you can forgive a person without actually telling them, I forgive you. It's about doing that soul work and just asking for forgiveness, but also seeking for forgiveness. Because a lot of times we offend other people and we don't even realize it. And it might not have been anything that we directly said, but you don't know what their experiences have been. You don't know what they've had going on. And so when you look at these things from that perspective, you have to ask yourself, what am I holding on to? What are those covenants and commitments that I need to correct? And what is that forgiveness and soul work that I need to do so that I can elevate and get to that next level and really begin to attract those soul aligned clients? And again, the systems that you put in place typically is the easier aspect of building a business. But it's these types of things that you have to do, which is considered to be like the hard work and the inner work in order for you to really begin to be able to scale and grow your business. Oh, let's meet Juanita. Um, so this is one of my legacy clients, Jonna. She has been in the chat. I don't know if you are still in here. But this was actually a video, and I'll send everyone who has registered for this training, I'll send you all a copy of this replay. Whether or not you have gone into VIP, I'll give you guys a limited time replay so that I'll actually send you the videos to this. But she is a wealth and tax advisor, and has been a legacy client of ours for years. One of my first clients that we've had, and she has done different things. And in the video on here, what she really was talking about was how we worked together and stepped into her next level of CEO-ship, because it was her realizing that it was more than just her stepping into leadership, but it was her actually doing the work that she needed to. And so we've done different things, such as she created a challenge for around tax time, which is a don't blow it challenge, so that people don't blow their tax refunds, right? And also we did photo shoots and personal branding and those kind of things. And so again, it's not just coaches and consultants that we always typically work with, but also other service-based entrepreneurs. So that's Jonna. Um, and so when you think about these things, right, you have to think about the case of what I like to call the two doctors. And it's like you have to ask yourself, do you want to be viewed as a generalist, or do you want to be viewed as a specialist? And typically, even in healthcare and whatever kind of industry it is, when you are a specialist, when you specialize in something, right, when you are known for a specific type of thing, then you're typically going to get paid more money. And so you have to look and you have to ask yourself, like, well, in this case, what do I want to be known for? Even if you look at a dentist, a periodontist, which is a gum doctor, gets made paid more than a general dentistry, right? And so if you look at even from just a general practitioner, an OBGYN or a podiatrist or some of those other types of, cancer specialists or whatever else, those people typically get paid more than just your general doctor. And so when you look at these things, you have to ask yourself, do I just want to be known as a general doctor for these types of things? Or what do I want to specialize in? What do I want to be known for? And so when you look at these things from this lens, this really begins to allow you to step into that CEO identity. And so from there, we look at your influence, right? We look at the purpose that you're here for. We look at the problem that you're here to solve. And then we also look at those things from that lens of the power of one that we talked about earlier. And so the strategic shift that you have to make at this level is looking at how can you magnetize your perfect fit prospects and convert them into the ready invest soul aligned premium clients that we've been talking about on this presentation. And so you have to be done with your content creation. All this has to be done with your content creation. But after you really begin to step into your purpose, right, your full power, and really look at the ways that you're going to be able to position yourself to exactly where it is that you're called in the marketplace. And so the quality questions that you'll have to answer in this phase when it comes down to your influence is, how will I be magnetic to my ideal clients and monetize my life's work? What magnetic messaging will attract my perfectly aligned prospects and turn them into ready to invest, soul aligned premium clients? Um, does my messaging and marketing consistently attract and convert these premium clients? And who do I need to become to step into leadership at this next level? And so the key is to basically you creating and enrolling your mid or high ticket signature offer that we talked about, and to turn this into some type of group experience so that you can impact as many people as possible. And this is by you looking at the ways that you can truly package and position your expertise into this high ticket, scalable offer. Again, serving those soul aligned premium clients that you are called to work with. And so again, if you look at these things and you look at these offers and these ways to be able to work with you, if you have a $5,000 offer and if you look at closing 5 deals per month, then that will give you the earning ability to have a $25,000 month. Um, if you have a $10,000 offer and you're looking at the ways to be able to close 3 deals a month at 30,000, then that would give you $30,000 a month. And then if you have a $25,000 offer and you are able to close 10 of them, that will give you the ability to have a $250,000 year. So again, like I said, this 250,000, this $25,000 offer with those 10 clients, you can put them on some type of monthly recurring revenue plan so that you have that consistent income over that monthly time frame. And so when you have a higher or premium price point for your offer, in essence, you can make the same amount of money, but with I'm sorry, you can work with the same amount of clients, but with fewer clients. You can make more money with fewer clients. And so generally, when you look at this high ticket, high touch point program, it's going to involve a little bit less work because you're doing things one time. You're kind of rinsing and repeating what it is that you're doing, and you're able to work with more clients, and these clients are able to do what it is that you have requested of them, but within a group format. So it's you're able to really begin to leverage your time and your energy and your effort. And so why do I like to say a minimum of $25,000 months, right? And I would say right now it's due to inflation, because once you're really looking at, getting into multiple six figures cannot be the goal anymore, especially if you want to be able to hire a team and hire support in the systems and strategies and things of that nature, in order for you to really have that successful business in that standpoint. And so it's really chalks up to inflation, right? Most of us probably on here are like 80s, 70s babies. And what our concept of what we thought the idea of $100,000 was is now equal to about $320,000 in 2024. And so the lens of what we've heard of $100,000 is not the same based upon that level of what it's valued at right now. And so when we look at these things, we have to realize that times have changed and you can't manifest the vision of your dream life or leave your legacy if you're still really only making that low six figures, because it's not enough. It's not enough to leave that impact and that legacy that you want. And so that's why I say that, everyone who I work with, I want you to work with at a minimum of $25,000 as your baseline minimum, just because of due to inflation. It gives you the ability to be able to, hire out your team, people to support you to execute that vision that you have. And so, when I look at these things and I look at OPP, right? Most of us have heard of OPP, but when I look at OPP is as a part of that marketing mix, right? And what has really scaled my programs is OPP. Is other people's programs, other people's podcasts, other people's platforms, right? Is that has been the biggest thing that has helped me is OPP. Is really finding those people that I can collaborate with that brings me in as that industry expert within that field, like I had showed you all in the beginning, of me coming in, being that guest speaker, that guest podcaster, that guest whomever, because guess what? That is lowering the learning curve of what I need for them to really begin to build that know, like, and trust factor. And so that's how I really begin to build my business, even without a huge social media presence, is because I've always been able to connect with other people and to get in other people who have some type of audience and go in as the expert. Because guess what? They've already built that authority with those people. And so that just really begins to shorten your learning curve, because if they trust that person and that person is bringing you in as that expert, guess what? That brings automatic authority to you so that you can really begin to grow and scale your business. And so that has been the biggest game changer for me in my business, is looking at things from that standpoint of looking at how can I look from things from OPP. And so when I look at those things, how we're talking about influence, that is how I began to have the greatest level of influence and impact in my business, is collaborations with other people who have had other people in their audiences that could be my ideal clients. So that was a huge jump for somebody. Okay. But what I like to say is you can make money or you can make excuses, but you can't do both, right? And so when we look at these things, this then takes us down to the next phase of what we teach within our programs, which is the align to track method. And so when we look at these things within this method, is looking at all of those things that I talked about within that power of one, right? Within that power of one, I said, what are you committed to focusing in on for 1 year, right? The one ideal client that you're looking to reach, that platform, that traffic, all of that kind of stuff, right? That messaging, that social media traffic, every single thing that falls within that power of one. What are you committed to doing for 1 year? This is going to look at things such as that magnetic messaging that you're going to have. It's going to be the H3, which we're going to talk about in a second, but many of you have heard this before. And then looking at how can you have that soul aligned CEO framework, the framework that we're teaching, which is that identity, that income, that impact, that influence, and then that intellectual property, that inner peace, and then that those increased profits. And so looking at that, right? From there, once you have all of those pieces of the puzzle, the next system that you're going to have in place is that marketing mix of what I was talking about. That marketing mix of that OPP, which is the other people's platforms, their programs, their podcasts, all that kind of stuff, right? So the marketing mix includes the OPP, but then it also includes some type of organic traffic, such as whatever it is that you're constantly posting on your own social media, your emails and things like that. And then it also, at some components of it, could also include paid ads. Most people, they want to try to go and run and jump to paid ads when they're not ready to, right? Because we want you to get your processes and your procedures and ensure that you have something to sell before you have something to scale. Okay. And so most people, they want to go to ads when they have something to sell, but you really need to really look at paid ads when you have something that you want to be able to scale and grow, of what you already know is working and that you're able to really convert things for. And so there is a time and a place to incorporate paid ads, but that is not in the beginning where you're looking to build your business, unless it's just for a reach standpoint. But it's still about first testing out your lead magnets and your lead generation to see what's working, to see what people are gravitating towards, and then running those paid ads to be able to scale from there. Okay. From there, the next system is looking at the conversion events that you need. Again, these are the things such as the audits, the webinars, the challenges, the lives, the summits, the guest interviews, the podcast, all those types of things. That is a whole system in and of itself that you need to be able to scale your business. From there, the next system that you need is your enrollment in your onboarding system. This is you mastering the art of enrollment calls. This is you having those 15 to 30 minutes with someone and being able to sell them and enroll them into your programs. This is you being able to sell from a PowerPoint presentation, because you have to remember that most people are visual. And so just looking at those things, or what is your onboarding process? What is your application process? What are those types of things of how are people going to come into your programs? And so that is a whole system within itself, which is the align to attract method that just incorporates the various pieces that we've been talking about today. And just having it where this is going to allow you to be able to attract and convert, well, first align with and then attract and then convert ideal soul aligned clients who are ready, willing, able to invest with you so that you can help them, guide them along that next level of transformation. So that is what that is about. Let's see. From there, right, you have to really look at embodiment coupled with the align to attract method is going to help to equip you with the tools that you need to be able to operate from your highest self, because it's about putting all these tools and resources and all those things like that into alignment so that you're able to really grow and scale your business from that soul aligned place. And you have to look at this magnetic messaging. And when I look at magnetic messaging, it's about creating those where have you been moments. It's the language that your ideal clients are going to resonate with, right? It's about like, oh my God, where have you been all my life? How have I just, heard about you? How am I just realizing that there's people teaching these things, incorporating these things, teaching people how to incorporate spirituality and business into their business model, or whatever else it is that you are teaching from at this period of time. And so it's about having that messaging that you realize that is going to resonate with your ideal audience so that they can just be like, oh my God, where have you been my whole life? I need to work with you, because it really begins to shorten up that sales cycle. Okay. Let's see. From there, what we were looking at within the power of one is what we call the H3 messaging matrix. And within this, from what we were teaching with the Soul Align method, is looking at how you're going to create this magnetic messaging. And how you're going to do that is if you want to really truly be able to sell high ticket, you have to remember that you're selling problems for profit at the end of the day. And even though you're being of service, they have a question, right? And you have to position yourself as the answer. And so typically, clients, they have three problems that all encompasses one. The first one is the thing that's in their head, right? These are the things that they speak, that they say out loud. This is summed up to be the problem that they think that they have. The second thing is the problem of their heart, right? These are the things that they won't share, but they don't know that they have it, but they won't admit it out loud. And then the other thing are the problems with their hands. These are the things that you have to show them. These are the things that the problems that they don't know that they have, and that your teachings and all of your methods and everything is going to show them as to how you are that go-to person to help fill in the gap, right? So to kind of give you an example is a lot of my clients, they'll come and they'll say, "Oh, I need to attract, you know, higher paying clients," right? Is the biggest thing that a lot of people come in and say, "Oh, I want to start looking at running Facebook ads or this or that or whatever else." So the problem they think that they have is that lead generation problem. The problem that they won't admit is that they're operating within a business model, right? And that they are really burnt out because of one-on-one work. They are tired, they're frustrated, they feel that they can't ever get a man because of how much they're working, or they feel that um, their relationship is suffering because of the amount of time that they're working, so their relationships is suffering. So these are those types of things that they won't admit. And so, from a hand standpoint, what I'm showing them is I'm showing you all is that the business model that you are currently trying to scale with is not conducive to how it is that you need to be able to grow and scale your business. And first, you have to start internally, right? Is the thing that you didn't realize is that in order for you to get to that next level and the money blocks and the messaging and all these things that I'm showing you in this presentation today, these are the things that are really holding you back. And it's not your ability to make money, it's not your ability to garner clients, but you're attracting that which it is that you are. And so these are the things that you're showing people. These are the things that I've been showing you today. Is it's not the marketing problem, is the messaging problem, is your soul's messaging problem, is that marketing, that mindset that you have to still work on, is still the business model that you need to begin to change so that you can able to grow and scale your business in a manner that's going to be conducive for you. And so those are the things that you have to look at. You have to tap into your clients and become magnetic from their head, their hearts, and their hands, so that you can speak the language that is going to resonate with them, so that you can share those things that they won't admit, and that's the content that you're going to create. And then with the show and the demonstration, you're going to demonstrate to them those things of what they truly need to be able to work on so they can get to their next level. Okay. And so when we look at these things, again, when we're trying to tap into the marketplace, there's various levels of marketing awareness where most people are aware and where most people are not, right? And so with the levels of marketing awareness, um, ideally what you're trying to do is you're trying to tap into this top 10% of the market, because some people are just unaware. This is where you begin to position yourself, where you're going to educate, you're going to demonstrate, you're going to entertain. So most people in the marketplace, especially like on social media, they are here, right? This is why content that is like non-educational and joking and all that other kind of stuff is here, because a large portion of the marketplace, they're going to fall up within 60% of the market, right? And so this is when you really begin to look and capitalize in on that expert positioning, where you're going to begin to educate and demonstrate and entertain people, because those people within that part of the market, what they don't realize is that they're not interested in some solutions. Maybe they're not even knowledgeable that certain solutions are out there, because they're probably not even truly your target market once you look at who it is that you're trying to really go into in that targeted buyer. Then from there, from unaware, then you get into that aspect of a person being problem aware. And this is about 30% of the market. And once you really look at this kind of thing, when you look at the expert positioning, they're unsure if they're interested, but they know that something isn't right, right? It's kind of where they are. And this is where you really begin to create those how-to videos and things like that. From that perspective, then the person kind of goes into solution aware, which is about another 30% of the market. And this is where, you can really begin to start sharing with people demos and social proof, right? And maybe they're not making a decision, or they might not be unaware of your solution. And so maybe if they see or someone shares with them, a demo of whatever else it is that you're offering, or you have some type of social proof of what it is that you've done, then you can kind of begin to reach people at this market. But again, you're trying to reach at least the top 10%, because the top 10% is going to be your target audience. And I would say that top 3% is going to be that targeted buyer of who's actually ready to invest in that solution. And so when you're looking at who it is within your target audience, you're really looking at that most aware level, and you're ready to make that offer with those people that are ready to invest. And so this is where you're going to spend the majority of your time, on that target audience, but looking at who this targeted buyer is, which is going to be about that 3% of the marketplace of those people that you're going to reach, right? But it's still good, because once you get into this level, you read it out 90%, of those people who are just kind of interacting with you. And then that's when you really begin to position yourself as the expert, where you're able to get on calls with people. You can showcase various testimonials. You can do those day in the life. You can do those demos in those audience, right? And so it's about you reaching this top 10% of the market, so that you can really begin to grow and scale your business, and just showing how you can position yourself within the marketplace. And so, one of the doctors that I've worked with, yes, he is a real life doctor, and he is a holistic doctor, and he specializes in gut health. And a lot of times we understand traumas, we understand pain, we understand grief, we understand this stubborn belly fat, but we understand it differently, right? And so one of the things that I was working with him on was looking at how we look at gut health, and how it affects our body, because we just don't want to say, oh, nobody's probably really searching for a gut health kind of program. But how do we understand what it is? So it's about, again, getting into the heads, the hearts, and the hands, and creating that magnetic messaging for that person. And so when you look at this for women, women might understand gut health as she's busy, maybe she's divorced, and maybe she's ready for a new body for her new boo, and she wants to travel, right? This is how a woman might understand the implications of being ready for gut health. Nobody is just looking at, hey, let's just do some health recipes. No, like, how can we make it sexy? How can we make it sustainable? How can we make it resonate with people? And so when we look at those things, a woman could, this is a specific targeted woman who is looking for, a specific reason as to why she wants to get her body in place. And what you teach her in the presentations and everything else is the simple fact of, it's gut health, because of the simple fact of, this is what she's ready for. These are her targeted goals. This is exactly what she wants. The other thing is, for men, one of the messaging that we worked on with him was looking at it from the aspect of busy professional men who they can lose weight. But why do they want to lose weight? They want to lose weight so they can perform better in the boardroom as well as the bedroom. Because what most people don't realize is that when it comes to your gut health, it also affects your sexual health, right? And so when you look at these things, like, how can a busy professional man lose weight so they can perform better at work, because he's probably a high achiever, as well as at home within the bedroom? And so creating his programs based around that. For couples, a lot of times that what most people don't realize, especially when people suffer from infertility, right, is that a lot of times it also deals with your gut. And so looking at focusing in on messaging around fertility in order to be able to conceive and having that, relationship with your gut and understanding that from that level so that you all can get healthy together. So again, it's about looking at those various ways of how can we position our solutions, even if they don't seem like that they're sexy or sellable, in front of the right people, in front of that audience. But in each of those three examples right there, if it's a woman, if it's a professional man who wants to perform better, or if it's a couple who want to have a baby, those are three specific targeted people and buyers, right? That you can really begin to capitalize on and really look at and construct who that ideal client is from that standpoint. And so it's really about creating that magnetic messaging, because the messaging for a busy divorced mom is going to be different than the messaging for a couple who is looking to have a baby. And so just really looking at those things from that standpoint. The next thing is then another real life example of some of the things that, coaches and healers and other people within various industries say, is that they might say things such as, oh, I feel so stuck. I want to enroll clients that can afford to pay me. I'm working way too much, but I don't have the time to find a man or whatever else. I need to run these ads. But what they're not admitting is that they are frustrated that they're getting leads, but they're not truly able to convert them, and that their revenue is on a roller coaster. And again, the truth, like I was saying, is that their soul isn't fulfilled is the biggest issue, and that their business model, it actually truly sucks. And so those are some of the things, like how I like to teach those various aspects within the programs, and some of the first things that we'll begin to work on together. And so this is Aisha. This is a video. Like I said, I'll send this out for those of you who have registered for this. I'll send this out to you all in the replay. But she's a holistic coach, a holistic life coach, and she was doing some different things with detoxing and self love. And so her biggest thing is that she wanted to focus in on clarifying her purpose and identity for her next level offer. She's had various, successful pages, hundreds of thousands of followers. But then, after some time, it was just trying to figure out what her next level self wanted her to create. Because even though she was getting clients, it was just like, what else do I need to do? And so you'll watch that one later, because it just gives some good examples of some of the assignments that I gave her, such as looking at some of her next level and some of those things that she's already accomplished to get the courage and the conviction to be able to go to her next level. And so what I want you to realize is that your message, it should embody the essence of who it is that you are and who it is that you're called to serve in this lifetime. And so when we look at these things, we have to look at the power of who it is that we need within our circle. Who are the premium prospects that we need? Who are those premium clients that we're going to convert? Or who do we need to help us with the positioning? Right? What is the platforms? What are the processes? What are the promise? Who do we need to connect with to pitch our services to? And then who are those premium partners that we're going to guide us and accompany us on this journey? And so when we look at the power of one, when we look at that power of one, when it comes down to a magnetic messaging standpoint, again, it's about looking at that one premium client that we're meant to serve. What is that one answer? What is that one offer? What is that one level of transformation? What is that one platform that we want to show up on? What is going to be that one conversion event? And what is going to be that one conversion process that we're going to walk people through? And so the quality questions that you will need to answer at this level is, do I have an offer that is even scalable, that can be systematized, and is it even sustainable at this point? Is my messaging attracting and converting perfect prospects and converting them into premium clients? And do I understand my client's entire life cycle? That is like really walking them through the cycle of being a lurker to a raving fan. And so those are the questions that you have to ask yourself in that question. And so you have to again do the math, right? Look at the amount of money that you want to make per month, look at the packages that you want to charge per month. And then once you have that income that you want to make per month and divided it by your packages, then that will tell you the number of packages that you need to sell every single month. And so I want you to imagine being able to sell out your five-figure one to many program consistently. What would this truly do for you? What would this do for your business? How would you like it if we could help you implement these type of things? And so when you look at these things, you have to look at the keys. The keys to those levels is how can you transition into a group experience, whether it's that hybrid program, your events, your masterminds, your trainings, your consultings, your licensings, your certification programs. And then from there, when you look at those things, you have to look at what is that one to many proven pathway. And that one to many proven pathway is through group programs, because this is really going to allow you to leverage your time and your financial freedom so that you're able to work with those premium clients. And so one of the biggest lessons that I learned was from Mary Kay. And with Mary Kay, it really taught me a leveraged sales approach. My godmother and my mom, they sold Mary Kay from the time I was probably born. I think that's how they met. And so when you look at the individual facials, it's trying to get people to come into individual facials from that person. You would ask them to host, their skincare classes, right? And then you would find that hostess, you would have them to bring in their friends. You would then build your team. You would get that jacket in the pink Cadillac, right? And so when you have to look at this standpoint, you have to look that even though you might be selling in a group, you're still selling to one person at a time. And that one person could be your client, they could be your partner, or they could just be your overall referral source. And so when you have people within that group format, no matter where they are and where they fall, you have to look at all of these people as valuable. So I thank you for coming, because even if you're not my client, maybe we can go in, we can be business partners at some type, we can do lives together, or maybe you'll just refer other people to me, right? And so you have to look at this and look at this from this standpoint of, even though you're selling to people within this group format, you're still selling to people one at a time, one transaction at a time. And so why do I say high value, high ticket groups? Because this gives you the ability for more impact and ultimately to have the ability to have more income. And so this also allows you to be able to step into your role as master, right? You have to step into that next level of mastery. And so when you begin to package a position, your highest work, and you show up as that go-to leader in your industry, you begin to really step into that mastery level role, and you're able to serve and show up from your highest level self. And so you have to look at the system that you need to make all of this possible. And this system typically is your client enrollment system. And with your client enrollment system, you look at these things of, you have your offer, which is going to be a long container of support, like I was explaining to you all earlier, which you want something that's going to be at least about 6, 7 to 12 months. You're going to facilitate these within a group program, and then you're going to have the pay in full option, or have the ability for this to be a monthly recurring revenue for your business, so that you can really begin to predict your profitability and your income in your business. And so when you kind of look at all of this system that I'm talking about to you today, all together, you have your soul aligned CEO framework, you have the whole attract to align method, and then you have your H3 messaging matrix. And so it's looking at that marketing mix so that you have that organic, that paid, that OPP, right? You go from there and you are able to really begin to book a call, look at those other conversion events that you have, and then from there, you operate and you do some type of sales presentation for people. So whether or not this is that enrollment call, which is typically 15 to 30 minutes, depending on the call or the audit, you have some type of, PowerPoint slide, you have your script, and any other kind of visuals that you'll need to be able to convert those clients. And so again, you're looking at the identity, the influence, the income, the impact, the IP3, and then you can just walk people through these marketing mix, their booking a call or a conversion event, and then having some type of sales presentation within whatever it is that you're offering. And again, it's speaking to their head, sharing things that are in their heart, and then showing them how they are doing things not the proper way as a part of this whole sales presentation that you're going to do. And so I just wanted to kind of go through some money math scenarios with you. So one of the things that we've been talking about is, having curated events for people. And so maybe the first thing is that you say, like, hey, I want to launch one per quarter. So you would have one 4 times per year. Maybe your goal is to get 20 people, so 5 people per event. The cost of this signature system, your base program that you're going to have, is maybe $15,000, right? And so with 30,000, that's going to give you a $30,000 year. $1,500 times 20 people is going to give you that $30,000 year. And maybe you end up upselling 5 of those 20 people into your higher level curated group experience, right? Which could be a hybrid combination of that base program plus some one-on-one. And maybe they're paying you $10,000 paying full, or a monthly recurring revenue of like $1,200. Then your projected total revenue that you can have for that year is your basic 6 figures, $102,000. From there, maybe you just say, hey, I really only want to launch my curated program 2 times a year. And your goal for those 2 times a year is 80 people. Maybe that program is $2,500. So that will give you about a $200,000 year. Maybe from those 80 people, you upsell 10 of those people to work with you in a longer container at $15,000 paying full, or $1,500 per month on a payment plan. Then that can round you out to about $255,000 per year. And then another time, maybe you just say, hey, I just want to launch 3 times. Maybe I don't want to launch during the summertime, or maybe I don't want to launch around Christmas time. However, you want to do your 3 times per year. And maybe your goal is 60 participants at that 3 times per year. You meet that goal, right? And it's $5,000 for those 60 people. Then that can give you a projecting earning of $300,000 for your base level program. Maybe you end up enrolling half of those people and you end up upselling them into a larger done for you or whatever kind of container. And you're just working with maybe, like I said, maybe about 30 of those people. Then that can potentially give you an income earning of about $1 million a year. And so this next space is just for you to leave it up to your imagination, right? Because however you want to create your curated events in your program is completely up to you. You can have it done any type of way that you want to. Some people do it in courses, some people do it in things. I'll go over a few examples in a few minutes. But what I really want you to answer during this time and really begin to think about is, have I mastered my conversion and my enrollment process at this level? Do I have the appropriate funnels, the systems, the software, and those things that I need to seamlessly be able to attract and convert my perfectly aligned prospects into my soul aligned premium clients? Do I have my whole enrollment process and my procedures and all those things of that nature completely figured out? What can I actually do at this time so that I'm able to standardize my business processes? And have I truly mastered to implement it to a level of mastery, right? What are those things that I've consistently done? Have I consistently converted clients to be able to, offer them a higher level of service at this point in time? So those are some of the questions that you need to ask. And so my question for you is, do I have your permission to offer you some type of energetic upgrades at this time? Let's see, I'm getting messages. So do I have your permission? Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I want you to realize right now is that you have a calling, you have a purpose, you have people that are waiting specifically for you, for your messaging, for what it is that you have to offer, right? People are waiting for you, but you have to unlearn a lot of these things to be able to transcend into that next level. And so as you're unlearning and you're transcending, I want you to be sourced from your soul and structured so that your business can also be successful at the same time. And so you have to then begin once you do all these things, as we look at things from identity and your income and your influence, right? Then you branch into what we call your level of impact, because when you have that next level of impact, right, you're able to serve your clients based upon their destiny, right? Because you realize that the clients that you have been searching for, that you have, and you're tied to their next level of destiny. And so you look at that, you look at those things, you look at how can you serve from your highest level so that you're serving your clients based upon their destiny that they need to be able to fulfill. And so when you look at these marketing mix again, it's that free traffic, it's that paid traffic, it's those OPP, it's those speaking opportunities, those podcasts, and then you're creating those where have you been moments, and that's how you're really going to elevate your level of impact. And so when you look at these enrollment insights, it's really about you connecting with people. It's about you revealing to them what their problem is, to their head, hearts, and hands. And it's about you being able to tap into their imagination. And so some of the initial conversion events that you can offer, right, are going to be your foundational programs. These can be things such as your lives, your challenges, your webinars, your interview series, your one-on-one sales mastery calls. And these things typically will last 1 to 7 days and will typically be low or no cost. From there, what I mean by conversion events is a focus is to teach, to train, or to transform a small or intimate group of people to achieve this specific outcome where the offer is focused to and tailored within a short period of time, right? My biggest thing for today is teaching you the various systems that you need in your business to help you scale. This is considered to be my conversion event where I'm just teaching, I'm training you, I'm helping to transform your mind, right? Small groups of people, um, and you're able to sit here and you're able to get this information. This is considered to be one of my conversion events. Is when I'm going on live in this manner. This is a conversion event. Then from the conversion process, the system that you need in place for that are those things such as your enrollment calls and your events, right? The biggest thing that you want to have your enrollment calls for is so they can get any clarity, to ensure that if they have any other kind of questions, that they have, that you give people an opportunity to get their final questions answered. It's also for chemistry to ensure that, hey, that I'm the person for you, you're the person for me, because as you're interviewing me, I'm interviewing you, right? And to also to provide you with a choice to see if this is something that you truly want to move forward with. And so that's the whole conversion process of why people do these type of calls, especially when it's a one-on-one call, to give you the clarity, the chemistry, and the choice. From there, your up level conversion event is things such as your intensives, your immersions, your retreats, your seminars, your boot camps, your summits, and your certification programs. These are going to teach people some of the fundamental aspects of what you work together. Again, the initial conversion event is foundational, and these are going to be your fundamental. These typically will last anywhere between 1 to 3 days, right? To give people those fundamental aspects of those things that they need to be able to work with you. Okay. So some examples are things such as a 1 month business coaching intensive or crash course, such as Accelerate Your Business, right? and it's designed to help entrepreneurs to fast track. It might be a 4-week program, and it's $2,500 per participant that is doing that. It's fast paced. It's an intensive. You meet with people in a group format, one time a week or 2 times a week for 4 weeks to give them exactly what it is. You help them with their goal setting, their strategic planning, their marketing, financial management, whatever else it is. And it's those types of things. Um, and then you look at these other things, such as what we've had, such as like Set Up for Success is one of the things that we used to offer. It was about messaging, it was marketing, and then their model, their business model. It was a 30-day accelerator. We had anywhere between 90 to 120 VIP intensive, right? And then we would help people to set up their simple sales funnels. We would help them set up their Facebook ads, and then we would do 30 days of coaching. And that was their setup. That was our Setup for Success program with a focus in on messaging, marketing, and models. We did this one on one, and then we also did this as a group format. Okay. Other examples that I just threw on this page was looking at, if you're an author, you can have an author workshop, right? One of the authors that we worked with, they had 8 participants. They did a 2-day workshop, and it was like $2,500 per person. And in those 2 days, they help people to, develop their manuscript and refine their writing skills. We had a systems coach that worked with 12 individuals. They did a 2-day intensive that was $5,000 per person. And then they learned how to optimize their workflows, create processes and procedures, get some of that back end HR kind of stuff for efficiency. And again, that was $5,000 per person. Then they upsell them on their longer container after that. We've had some Reiki instructors who we worked with, and they did a Reiki 1 and a Reiki 2 certification retreat over a 3-day period. And then they had 6 participants in that one. And, these were for people that were interested in energy healing. And so then they actually gave them the certifications that they needed for the Reiki certifications to learn the energy healing techniques. They did it in that group format so they can do, some of the protocols and other things with each other. And so that was like a 3-4 day experience with that one. Some of our clients have also been like a social media manager, and they've had social media master classes where they got groups of people together to help them develop content, and did, intensives with that kind of stuff with analytics, and, did like a 2-day training. And so then they were able to charge for that. So those were some of their introductory, initial conversion events that they would introduce people to then introduce them to their larger formatted programs. And so when I look and I say curated group experiences, these are going to be more of your transformational, your true curriculum based community programming, so that you can serve your soul aligned clients at a higher, a more premium level price point. So again, these are going to be like your 6, your 7, your 8, your 12-month programs is going to be some of those curated group experiences. And so with this model, it allows you to have monthly recurring revenue, or what some people like to say MRR, or you can work with people and they can work with you if they have that ability to pay you in full. And then you're able to leverage, working with more premium clients in this capacity. And so, I like to give people the option. I give them an empowerment savings when they like to pay all their money up front, because again, it's not me having to, ensure, or having someone to ensure that their payments are paid, but it's also about having those systems and those things in the back end where we have that agreement of, this is your, your monthly plan that you're going to pay. This is what you're able to do. And then this is what is going to be moving forward. So that's what we typically do with that. And what do I mean by leverage? I mean that leveraging your abilities is, again, it's like hiring or outsourcing individuals. It's about looking at those ways that you can serve people from a one to many standpoint, is looking at technology, right? Looking at those ways to be able to automate and delegate, right? And then looking at those things where you're not specifically trading hours for dollars. It doesn't mean that, hey, if I'm showing up for you here live for 4 hours, then you're going to pay me for my time, right? You're going to pay me based upon the value and the transformation that I'm helping you get. It's not an hour for dollar trading. It's not, hey, you show up for 2 hours, I'm going to pay you for 2 hours. No, what is going to be that long term um, amount, that long term value, because we're basing it off of the transformation that you're providing. And so, some of the biggest benefits of really stepping into the model of curated community experiences is you're not starting from zero every single month, because you know that you have certain number of people on these, payment plans. And so you're not starting from that base bottom line of zero every single month. You're also able to curate longer term relationships with people, right? So it's not just like a one and done, hit it and quit it, right? That you're able to go deeper in a longer format, right? Because you are able to provide them that ongoing support. You already have it built in that you know that that person is going to need you to help follow up with them, especially like when you're dealing with spirit soul issues and you realize that they're going to need that support. They're going to need that community. They're going to need that listening ear. They might not understand that, a part of that whole unlearning and relearning and unlearning and questioning all the beliefs that they have. And so, why not just offer your services in a way, in a manner that people actually need to receive that. And so creating your offers from the very jump so that they are able to offer it in that type of way. So again, it gives you that ability for having that recurring revenue, or it can give you those high income cash infusion months, but it helps you to build in on what is sustainable and what is scalable. And those are some of the biggest benefits. And so, again, some of the ideas are you to create some of those group coaching programs, those mastermind groups, some memberships. If you're a service based provider, then looking at those things that people need on a monthly basis, a quarterly basis, and offering those types of things to them. Some hybrid ideas is looking at agency services. If your agency, what are some of the additional type of services that you're able to provide, and what are some of those other things that you can do that are done for you, or some type of other type of implementation support, right? So you can always have it where people come in where there's implementation support, and you have it where they would ask questions or give links to different things, and then you answer questions, especially if it's non-sensitive information inside of a group format, right? So there's nothing to say that other people can't receive it, because if this person has a question on, I don't know how to install a Facebook pixel, for example, other people would do it. And so it might be a different type of business or a different type of business model, but the basis of what it is that needs to be done is the same. So why not walk people through that whole process by doing it within a group standpoint? So this is one of my clients, Dr. Charlie Ware. He's another holistic doctor that I've worked with, and he wanted to find a way to interact with his existing audience. And so the area that he's specializing in right now is with sickle cell patients. And so what he did is he created a monthly webinar that he is then in turning converting into a community. And so on his first webinar that we put in together, from his existing webinar, he had an increase in $11,000 in sales. And so one of the interesting things with him was that with his community, we had to play around a bit with calling it a community and a membership and all this other kind of stuff, because in that space, it was very different and people didn't always identify it as that. And so one of the things is that what we had to do was we ended up calling it something different, but he also sells products. And so as a part of his subscription package, his membership and community is included for those that are on his prescription membership packages. And so sometimes, you have to just pivot, you have to shift and be flexible within that messaging, especially if you're trying to figure out what is really your ideal client is going to resonate with. And so look at those things with that, and just, be ready to move when you need to move, to shift when you need to shift, to pivot your messaging so that you can really begin to attract those clients that you are ready, willing, and able to work with you. And so my question for you is, when you look at it from a soul work question, what divine assignment have you been putting off in your life? Because again, I think that we all have a calling over our life, and we're meant to touch and to reach certain types of people. And so you have to ask yourself, what divine assignment have you been putting off? And so I know you might be wondering right now, like, oh my God, Megan, this was a lot. We've been on for almost 3 hours. How do I put all of this together? How do I stay focused? How do I stay consistent? Or maybe you're even thinking, like, well, at this point, where do I even begin? Right? And so that's where we have our partner program and our mastermind programs come in. I know you all have heard me talk about a little bit about the agency when it comes down to Premium Services Academy. And so we have two different programs that we primarily are working with our clients with. We have a partner program, and then we have our mastermind for a higher level, because it is with us that we want to be able to support you on your spiritual business journey at this time. And so when we look at these things, what we've done is we've created the most comprehensive, business group coaching program to help our clients solve, hundreds of problems that they've had, right? And we've helped hundreds of students and coaching clients over the years. I just realized that in August it will be 15 years that technically I have been a career coach, right? I started in higher education, and 15 years ago in August, it will be my 15-year anniversary just as a career coach and a career director. And so, we have to look at all of the experience, all those things that we've done, and how we have been able to comprehensively, get all of our best work in our mission and put it together and create it into, the programs that can best serve our clients. And so, in addition to us working together as a partner, one of the other things that we will do is we will also help you to install our automatic enrollment systems into your business, right? As a part of, depending on the level that you come in at, will determine how many different systems that will have the ability to install within your system. But we'll install our systems into your business. And so if you like our help implementing any of these strategies that we've talked about today, any of these high ticket strategies, and tailoring it to fit into your coaching, consulting, or healing business, then the program that we have, right, is really called Premium Services Academy. And this is really just an invitation, right, for you to make more money so that you can discover how to create your own elite ticket offers. But the program in and of itself is called Premium Services Academy. And so a little bit about the Academy is that you have lifetime access to our online curriculum. You get 3 group coaching calls per month for 12 months. There's also a monthly mindset call. There's a private client only group, and then you get access to some of our templates, our spreadsheets, and various tools that we have within. As bonuses, there's a business in a box. Yes, the box is real, and it has developed some of our clients. They were used to some of the older marketing material and things that we have, but everything has been branded for Premium Services Academy. It actually comes with a nice curriculum, the workbook, and all that kind of stuff. You also have a Trello board to help keep you organized. There's various vaults of past workshops that we've done, other trainings and workshops that we have, such as like our Strength in the Crown Summit, We have guest advisory boards, workshops. There is a kickoff call that we have, and there is the 3-day implementation day. And then you also will get access to, at the base level, our Go High level pre-built funnel for you, which is going to be your initial enrollment funnel. If you do the longer container program, our 12-month, then we install more. Once you have one of them up and running and going and success, then we'll help you to create and install more within there. There are some additional pay in full bonuses if so you choose to pay in full. There is a 30-minute divination session that you get with my husband Prince out of Relay. And then there's a 90-minute CEO strategy session with me if you pay in full for the program. And then during our time together, some of the things that we do is, again, is a 12-week self-paced premium services academy curriculum. And then you get to do the curriculum at your own pace. But we'll also then show you how to install our proven system into your business, so that you can elevate your clients and refine your own offers, and then create your own repeatable client acquisition pathway, and teach you how to create your own frameworks, your own methods, your own processes, your own curriculum. So we do all that together. Again, that is pretty much self-paced. You have lifetime access to it, but it'll take you about 12 weeks to get through the whole curriculum. And then you still will have access to some of the live calls and things of that nature as you enroll. So you still have, opportunities to ask questions. It's just not me always teaching the information live. You just kind of dive right on in, get with it. Then if you have questions, we have a form that you'll fill out, and then you'll be dedicated. It's a dedicated day during the week where we'll go in and answer those questions for you. Okay. And so how it works is there is a link that you will be able to find on here, right? Then you're going to pick your experience. You will pay your $500 refundable deposit, and then you will go ahead and then you'll schedule your one-on-one enrollment call. So that is pretty much how it works. Is with that, I was actually looking for the thing, but and so you can go, this, like I said, this is an invitation to apply. And so, the questions that you really have to ask yourself is, if you could really begin to find the ways to close the gap between the time that it takes you to enroll clients, so that you're able to, to enroll people faster, and not only your revenue, but your impact, would you, if you could create a leverage way to have absolutely amazing and transformational client experiences, while also leveraging and having consistent in a predictable way to grow your audience and generate tasks, would you? And if you could step into your next level, build your dream business with your dream team, and host your very own retreats and have clients that get amazing results, would you do that? And so, again, as a part of this, the original title of this program was actually called Elite Ticket Mastery. And so I really changed this to Systems at Scale, because with Elite Ticket Mastery, it was really me showing people over a 3-day intensive. And so once you enroll with us, what you're going to get is our entire elite enrollment system. So imagine you just working hands-on, of course, in a group format over a 3-day period, so that you can really tap into your spiritual self and then your successful self. And then you still get access to our 12-month Premium Services Academy, or the Premium Services Academy plus mentorship program that we have. And then after the 3-day intensive, this is where we're going to help you to map out your framework so that you can turn in your one-on-one coaching into your scalable group offer. You can really begin to complete our proprietary premium power positioning roadmap. And then it will help you to get clear on your soul's magnetic messaging, like we were talking about, so that you won't just have gut health, but you're going to have it towards that specific audience, so that you're also able to nail down your premium prospects and turn them into your soul aligned, highest aligned clients. And then look at the ways to structure out your workflows of your curated group experiences so that you can have the ability to have more income and more impact. Um, okay, this is what I was looking for. So if you scan this, like I said, y'all, it's a new system. Bear with me. So if you scan this QR code that's right here on the bottom of the screen, that is where you will be able to actually fill out the application for. And again, with this Elite Ticket Mastery program that we have, it is the program is specifically designed for people who want success in the five pivotal areas in their business. It is their CEO spiritual growth and development. They want to have more soul aligned client acquisition and enrollment strategies. They want to operate efficiently, and then they want to really begin to build their leadership and their team building. And if you all have any questions, go ahead and start throwing those in the chat for me, because we're wrapping up here, and I can answer any questions that you all have. And so, when it comes down to working with us, we like to look at things with people with whatever it is that their new reality is, right? And so when we look at things, we want to look at things of how can we create the offer that you're absolutely in love with at the price point that you know that you should be charging so that you can show up as your higher level self. How can you connect with high value or premium clients that actually want your service? How can you master your soul's messaging, your mindset, and your positioning so that you can begin to attract and enroll more premium aligned clients? And how can you create a consistent stream of monthly recurring revenue that we've been talking about so that you can easily grow your business beyond where you have currently plateaued right now? And how can you also create this recurring revenue enrollment system so that you never have to start from ground zero every single month? And that's, like I said, that's one of the beauties of working with premium clients, is that you don't have to start from zero. You have that baseline of what it is that you need every single month in your business. And so just imagine being able to finally spend more time with your clients instead of strategizing on how to find them every single month. How can you build a team that's going to support you and your clients so that you can provide a higher level of value and service to your clients? And how can you provide a deeper level of transformation, so that you have your curriculum and everything that you need in your program. And so again, this is the QR code if you are interested in the program that we have. Again, it's two levels that we have it in. This is the code. I'll put it up again in a second, but this is a breakdown of what's in store for you, because I know sometimes people, they have questions. I see we have a question in the chat. Perfect, thank you. So one of the things is that, within that 12 months, again, it's a self-study curriculum. You'll have 12 months of group coaching calls and things like that with us. It takes about 12 weeks for you to go through the curriculum, because at the end of the day, what we really want you to do is we really want you to learn as you earn. That is the educator in me. I want you to earn as you're learning, right? And so with our curriculum-based programs, it is a group coaching experience, and it's designed for you to really learn, for you to plan to really execute on those strategies, right? So that you can get to a level of mastery. And so we typically, even with our higher level clients, we want to start everyone off within this Premium Services Academy curriculum, because it's the basis of the curriculum. And so again, even though it's self-paced, um, we want you to do it in a faster pace. And that's why we are offering it for that 3-day program at first, which is included in the level, no matter which level that you join. But again, after those 3 days that you're going to have with us live, it's about 12-month curriculum that you're going to have. But then you also still receive about 12 months of support and accountability to help you tweak, to help you test, and to help you perfect everything. And so that is what that portion of that is. And again, the whole curriculum, the pre-built curriculum that we've had for a while, that is actually included within that self-study portion of it. Okay. And so this is just a breakdown of some of the modules that you have. Everybody likes to know what some of the modules are, right? And so we actually walk you through your path, your plan, your power positioning, your people, right? This is the people who you want to serve, and those people, your team that you also need. We help you to look at your programs, your pricing, your profits, and then also have different things within the pricing, the passive income potential that you need to be able to grow and scale your business. And so again, it's 12 months mentorship. You have the curriculum, you have your weekly group coaching calls, you get personalized feedback, you get our plug and play enrollment system so that we can put a lot of our systems and things of that nature within your business. You also have the support group of other people who you will be alongside doing this program with. And then you get access to all of our various resources, templates, scripts. I'll show you all how to create your own conversion events, your own summits. You're going to pick a path, and then this is what we're going to focus in on is that passion project that you're going to have for the next 12 months while you're working with us. And so just to break down a little bit more, I showed you all the box that you would get. So it is a real life box that we actually mail to you. I mail you your workbook so you don't have to print it. I believe that people need kind of stuff. So you get your printed workbook, and it's other bespoke items that we put in. We are very spiritual. So if there's certain candles or oils or crystals or those kind of things that I really feel that you need in your business at the time to help you to get focused and in alignment. We also provide you with those type of resources. I'll mail all that stuff to you within your box. And so you get that kind of stuff. So we have that valued at about $1,000. And then from there, you also get your live implementation sessions, right? And this is really guided for your coaching, your feedback, for all the various sessions that you need. And so with all of those things right there, it's just the coaching so that you can get feedback on that offer, so that you can refine your offer, so that we can actually have a hands-on look at your client acquisition system, so that we can look at how you're building your team, what you want as your structure of your team, and then really begin to look at the systems and the automation that you need in your business. And so, like I said, we have those weekly live implementation sessions that either myself, Prince, and then we have other coaches with us that we actually do and will walk through with you. And so from there, you also have your private client only community, because again, we thrive in communities, and what better way to learn than to, be with other like-minded individuals. So phase 2 of the program will come where we actually introduce you to, a private client community so that you can really begin to grow. And not just from yourself, but just from other peers that have other aspirations. And so that's what you get when it comes down to that private level community. And then you have the vaults. Again, the vault is all of the resources, the templates, the scripts, the workflows, the various examples that you have. So we have that as well for you. You get access to that. Some of our old past, like I said, Facebook Lives, and if it's, offer templates and all those other kind of resources, you get access to all of that type of stuff. I'm going to take this QR code off for a second. But you also have access to our all-in-one sales and marketing platform, right? And we really want to make this easy for our clients to implement their marketing campaigns, manage and track their sales, provide the high level of service to clients and customers. And so you'll have access to an all in one sales and marketing platform. And so as long as you're in an active client with our 12-month, we are actually going to gift you, and it's included your all in one software. We have an agency account with Go High Level. And so I am not going to charge you any additional to help you build out those landing pages and your email marketing and stuff. And so the value of that software is about $6,000 per year. And so, like I said, that as long as you are at that 12-month level with us, that will be at no additional cost to you at this time. And so again, you'll get all the tools that you'll need to grow and scale your business within one platform. So you'll be able to duplicate our entire systems that we have. So again, we'll help you first with the spiritual standpoint of it, and then we'll help you to grow and scale your business with all the various systems that you need. And so the core functions of the sales and marketing platform that we have is that you'll have access to the customer relationship management. You'll have access to your calendars, your bookings, your appointments, your webinar funnels, your messaging capabilities, your membership site, and all of your workflows and automations. Like I said, all that will be included for no additional cost, depending on the level that you're in. Some of the other perks include is that you'll have access to the workflows and automations. We'll assist you with, your funnel design. We have some very, very high converting templates that we've been utilizing with our clients. We'll assist you with all of the tech support calls. You'll get access to our done for you custom snapshots. So like the 5-day programs and things like that we've done, all the snapshots are already built out for you. So it's basically just a simple plug and play. And then they also have some video hosting capabilities for your membership sites. And then you can also host your client portal. And then we have the office hours. And then we also have affiliate commissions that we also pay out to people if you're not for us, but you think that what we're doing is great and you want to refer people. We also have an affiliate commission program as well that we offer. Okay. And so within each of the accounts that we will help you to provide, again, is you can have unlimited link domains. You'll have access to some of the courses, the websites, the funnels, the contacts, the calendars, your forms, your surveys, your automations, your text message marketing. All that is included at the higher level if you decide to work with us. And so for now, the bonuses that we have at the mastermind level only, if you come in at our highest tier, which is more of the hybrid program and not just the self-study course, you will get invited to one of our Strengthen the Crown retreats, right? Wherever we decide as a group, the airfare is not included, but we are bonusing in our mastermind retreat. So that is bonused in. So that is that. And so again, what you're pretty much getting when you fill out the application to really learn more about the program is you are going to have access to the Elite Ticket Mastery, which is going to be our 3-day intensive where you're going to work directly with my husband and me and the team. As bonus number 1, you're going to have access to our Premium Services Academy, which is our flagship program that we have been teaching since 2015, 2016 that we developed it. You will also have 12-month live group membership plus mentorship that you will have access to. Again, bonus number 3 is that box that I showed you that you're going to have your business brand print planner in a box, so that you'll have all of the resources and tools that you'll need, so that you can actually begin to script out your own business. You will also get the all-in-one sales and marketing software, again, at no additional cost as you're working with us for those 12 months. Typically, we just charge it at cost. Afterwards is about $97 a month is what it'll be after you're in that 12-month, but as long as you're an active standing client with us, it's no additional charge for you. And then number five, for the bonus number five for the mastermind clients, is that you will have access to our VIP master mind retreat for our higher level clients if you're in up on that additional level. And like I said, everyone coming in, you'll have at least that base enrollment funnel that you get. But if you come in at a higher mastermind level, um, you'll get more funnels and things built out for you and some additional done with you services. That's pretty much the biggest difference between the two. But if you're interested, again, just go ahead and fill out the application form, and then we'll schedule a call to go over the two levels to see which one and which level is going to be the best one for you. I see we have some. Okay. And so basically just imagine, packaging up your expertise and being able to work um, less, right, and earn more in a way that is helping to provide deeper level transformations for those who you're meant to call and who you're meant to work with. And so that's just the biggest thing that we want to assist you with is we want to help you packaging up all of your expertise, packaging up your life's work, and really you identifying and seeing exactly who it is that you are meant to be working with at this time. And so again, legally we cannot guarantee put a guarantee on any of our services. Our attorneys will not let us do that, but I want to completely remove any resistance for you. And so basically my guarantee for you is that, as long as you do the work, as long as you show me and you're actively involved and you invest in the program, and you're following our curriculum and you're putting in the work, I will coach with you. I will coach you until you get the results back, right? Because whatever the investment level is, I believe that you're going to double, triple, 10x, 90x your amount, right? So if you're investing $10,000 to work with me at a minimum, I think that your return on investment should be $100,000, right? And so when I look at these things, I want you to more than double and triple and quadruple your investment to work with me, right? And so what I want to do is, hey, I'm an educator. You'll have assignments. There's different things. As long as you're participating, and I will work with you until you get the results that we both know that you're capable of. And that's the biggest reason why I have an application process with this, right? That's one of the biggest reasons why I asked everyone to also do that refundable $500 deposit. Because once a person actually puts in the energy to fill out the application to pay that refundable $500 deposit, it's not as a way for you to back out from the program, right? It's a way to energetically tell the universe, like, hey, I'm ready, I'm committed. And there's always that level of transformation when it comes down to the transaction. And so it's really just that energetic and that monetary investment as to the reason why. We do review the applications. And it's not just like, hey, just fill it out. We want to work with everyone. No, we're really selective in this season. And so if I see that you're not a good fit, I will refund you that deposit even prior to us getting on the call if I feel that you're not a good fit. But if I really feel that it's something, that we're not able to assist you, in which most people we are able to assist in some form or fashion, but if we're just not energetically aligned for us to work together, then I'll refund you that deposit, okay? But it's just that energetic investment that I also want you to get, because as you begin to invest in yourself and when you begin to take fast action on things, that's the same type of clientele that you're in turn going to receive. So if you feel called and you feel led, fill out the application, fill out the deposit, and then I'll open up my calendar to take calls. It might even be some as soon as today, but if you do it, if you fill out the application, if you pay your deposit, then just message me on IG or on LinkedIn. But I'll see it, and then I'll even open up my calendar just so that we can get on the books as soon as possible. just so that you can talk to me, ask any other questions that you may have, and move forward from there. Okay. And then once you fill out the application, I just kind of wanted to walk you through this page. This is the program refundable deposit. It has whatever kind of disclaimers that you want on it, kind of what I just said. So once you fill out that application, it's going to take you to that. But I think another page has the application page on it. But again, again, like I said, it's not a deposit for you to change your mind, but it's just for you to tell the universe that I'm ready. But this is what the page will look like once you pay your deposit. It'll have my calendar and everything. So once you fill out the application, it's going to take you to the deposit page. But the deposit page is going to take you to the link to get on my calendar. And these are actual calls. Is either with myself or with my husband. But this is just your enrollment call to figure out which level might best be suited for you. It's not to upsell you on any other kind of thing, but everything is on that application page. And this is how the application page looks. So once you scan that QR code, it's going to take you to the self-study. We call it our PSA self-study enrollment application. And it has the two levels. One of them is $500 a month, and then the other one is $1,500 a month. So you just kind of tell us a little bit about you, your business, what you're building out in this season. You tell me which level you're considering. You submit that, and then it's going to take you to this other page where you can actually put in for your refundable deposit. From there, it's going to take you a link to get onto my calendar. Okay. These are the systems that we have in place for you. But this is again, that is the application. I'll give you all one last time to scan that. So if you are ready for higher income months, then all you have to do is just simply fill out the application, follow those steps, and it will be as simple as that. And then we'll hop on a call just so that we can get to know you a little bit better and just see what it is that you're building in the season. It'll be a quick call, 15-30 minutes. But I just wanted to thank everyone for today for taking this time out. We've been on for about 3.5 hours, but I really wanted to, again, just share with people, inspire them, or just serve as an inspiration and invite you all to work with us and some of the clients that we've had. If you have registered for this, I will be sending out a limited time replay for those of you who just did the general admission. If you did VIP, once this kind of processes and everything else, I'll put that into the membership portal. If you worked with us in the past, if you've attended any of our other workshops and things like that, the same portal that you have attended some of our workshops in the past, or if you're a current client, that same portal is going to work for all of the courses that we have. And so it's going to be your same login link. You might not get an additional email that this is ready or whatever else, but just log in, and then you'll see access to this, as well as a workbook. But just give us some time for this to process and for us to upload that. So probably by Monday, you should have access to it in the back end if you are one of our current clients or if you purchased something from us in the past. But love and light to all of you. I hope that this was very beneficial. I just like to thank you for taking the time with me to go through this. I hope that this was beneficial. I hope that you learned some different things about the various ways to be able to scale and grow your business. And I hope that I see your application come in. Love and light to you. Until